Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aussie Formula Racing here, Tier 1 and Tier 2 for Season 6, Round 12 for Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez from Mexico in North America. So we're just loading into the qualifying session here tonight. For Tier 1 first up, we'll have Tier 2 in just over an hour's time. And we'll do a bit of a run through of the track here. 4.3 kilometre circuit, 17 corners, just the 3 DRS straights again. But here, about 17 turns, bit of action in the last couple of seasons here in AFR Tier 1. We had turn 3, Matsoy getting a little bit loose in the rear at turn 3, going into the wall on the exit curb, breaking his front wing in the process. We've seen a few cars lose it there, so hopefully drivers are paying extra attention. We had a good battle from turns 4 to 7 between Big Al and Mattia Dabri last season. Have the Red Bull and the Haas driver going side by side. The Red Bull getting pushed a little bit wide, gives him a bit of a return serve as well into the next corner. Hard but fair racing. The Haas did manage to come out on top there, so seeing quite a bit of action through those there. Mexico is actually in North America, Freaky. Have a look at a map. Turns 12 to 16, we had Bandcamp Lotus and Matsoy battling it through the stadium section. Great section here. And Lotus just hanging on a little bit too long, hit the tyre of Matsoy and went spinning around into the wall under the overpass. Had a big battle between turns 12 all the way down to turn 1 between Major Payne Geordie and Bandcamp in the wet back in Season 4. We had a transitional race back then, starting off in the wet, going wheel to wheel through the stadium section, all the way down the straight as well. You can see Major Payne there getting squeezed up onto the dirty side of the track, the final corner, so compromises his run down the pit straight, and Bandcamp getting a mega tow. And this is one of the really big overtaking positions here on this track. That run down to turn 1, you can get such a good slipstream, and at the start of the race it will be very, very exciting to see. And you can see Bandcamp trying to go around the outside, a bit of desync there, locking tyres with the Alfa Romeo, and both of them having a bit of a spin there as well. One of those drivers will be with me shortly in the commentary box of Bandcamp. He's just getting a weather forecast for us as well. Drivers are now on the track, and we don't have our Apollo Pepsi this time to jump on board for the first flying lap, but we do have a number of drivers on their laps at the moment. I think we've got the Mercedes there of T-Mac, the first one to go on a hot lap. We'll jump on board with him and have a lap around Mexico. T-Mac there, following on the pit straight now, going up into 8th gear and opening the DRS on this very, very long straight. Down the run into turn 1, brakes just pull the 100 metre board, bit of a lock up there on the front right, and T-Mac is on the medium tyre here. Takes a lot of curb on the inside of turn 2 and the turn 3. Loses the rear a little bit on that exit curb. Runs down towards turn 4. The traffic coming up here in the second stadium section. Big lock up on the left hand side as well, goes 3rd gear. Back around to the right. Keeps in 3rd gear all the way around the corners there. Extending there briefly. He's compromised his exit a little bit there. Big wobble in the rear. He nearly loses it through the tight twisty section. Comes up into the stadium section. Very tidy there. Through the stadium section. Comes around onto the back straight. And comes across the finish line. Setting a 1:15.2, and joining me in the commentary box tonight is Bandcamp. Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Not at all. We had a little bit of a feature from you back in Season 4, if you can recall.
Oh, yeah?
A bit of a collision there with Geordie at turn 1, if you recall.
Oh, yes, I think I do recall that incident.
Oh, we got Stars has DNF'd. He's lost it in the twisty section. I'm just going to jump aboard with his teammate Mikia, who's just about to come through that section now. I think the car's actually cleared, but it looks like between turns 7 and 11, somewhere in this tight twisted section, he's managed to put it into the wall, unfortunately.
So a bit of a weather update. So we're in for a dry race for Tier 1. A little bit of light cloud, but all looks to be dry.
see, pretty entertaining race no matter what the conditions. That long straight heading into turn 1 and even the second straight into turn 4 as we see Mikhail coming to the pits after invalidating that run. We'll jump aboard with Matsui, just about to complete his lap as well.
And I believe we're also most likely going to be looking at a 2-stop race. Doesn't look like the hards are particularly strong around here, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I think most of the talk has been around a 2-stop strategy. Also noticed a lot of drivers still yet to get a time on the board. I did some practice around here before, and the corner cutting is very, very strict around here. So, yeah, Stars unfortunately not able to even get a banker lap in, and he'll most likely be starting from the rear of the grid.
Yeah, that's what we keep banging on about every single week. Basically, you want to set just any time on the board, because if you do have a little incident, if you push it too hard on that first lap, that's it. You're just starting at the back of the grid. So at least if you've got something to work with, you can build up that confidence and that track knowledge. So we have seen a couple of the top runners invalidating on their first runs as well. So hopefully some of them will be able to come back out and fix it up in the next run. And just on board with Panda, who unfortunately missed the start of the qualifying session. Hopefully he won't get reset to the back of the grid like we sometimes see happen on 2020, but good to see him in the session as well. He's had a few rough races for Panda, but I'm really hoping that he's going to be able to have a bit of turn of fortune this time. Yeah, he does work very hard and he is very quick. Sometimes in racing you don't get the rub of the green. Just on board with Big Al, who also featured in that preamble there, has battled quite a few drivers here at this track, so we do see a lot of great wheel-to-wheel racing here. Oh, and he's lost it. He's lost the rear. He's had a big spin at turn 11, and he's kept it out of the wall though. So he's just parked up on the inside there. He's staying out of the way of the traffic, and he will just do a little spin, and he'll come back into the pit, so those tyres will be wrecked. Yeah, that's what happens when you push too hard when the track's still a bit green.
Yep, Panda's just started his lap as well.
Yep, just jumped on board with Merc Driver on the run down into turn 4. Sets of purple per sector. So currently Sid is on provisional pole with 113.665. We've got a number of drivers currently in the pits at the moment. Got about 10 minutes left in the session, so it should be enough time for another couple of runs. Ooh, a bit of a wobble there for Panda. It looks like a lot of these guys are running very low downforce to get the most out of those straights. You can really tell when they're coming through tight, twisty sector 2. Panda goes purple again in the middle. You see the car really protesting in those fast corners. So it was pretty planted in the slow ones. Very slippery on the straights. It comes across the line. Goes P3 with the 113.9. So pretty good time there for his banker anyway. Potsy currently doing his 4th lap on those medium tyres in P9 at the moment. I'll jump aboard with Fever from McLaren, who's in the stadium section at the moment, about to complete his lap. P8, 114.3 there for Fever. I do wonder if he's going to come back out and do a medium run a little bit later. I don't think that'll be his true pace, being 7/10 off pole position. So just keep an eye on the McLaren for a bit later in the session. Just going to jump aboard with Ferrari of Smitty. Coming into the stadium section now. Great section of track this one. I really like the atmosphere you have coming through the final sector. Comes across the line, goes P3 with the 113.7. Great time there from Smitty. Some of the other front runners currently on their flying laps as well. Condon had to come across the line. 114.1, so he's just in front of his teammate by about a tenth. Jump forward with Artanis now as well. He comes into the stadium section. Oh, and there's a lot of traffic. You've got Williams on both sides of the track there. Not sure what was happening there. Artanis keeps it together. Very composed driver. Comes through the final corner now. Holds it nice and tight to the pit wall. Goes provisional pole with a 113.663. Just 2 thousandths of a second quicker than Sid in the Red Bull. Great lap there from Artanis. Jump aboard with Geordie, who's currently getting a tiny bit of a toe there on that first straight. Looks like another toe as well. The Haas. Goes a bit deep into turn 4, which is going to compromise his line for turn 5. It's a real flowing section of track here. If you can't quite get your line right at the start, it will compromise you all the way around here. Not done too badly, using all the track as he comes into turn 7 and 8. Twisted section all the way around to 11. He's missed the apex slightly there, and it's compromised his line here. Hasn't quite been able to keep it flat the whole way. But still looking pretty tight. He's still 10th up on his previous times. He enters the stadium section. As much curve on the inside as the limits will allow. Opens it up nicely in the last couple of corners of the stadium. The last corners of the track, taking a lot of inside curve there. Goes past the pit entrance, keeps it nice and tight. Improves by 3.5 tenths and goes provisional pole with 113.4. And another great qualifying lap from Geordie. We've seen him do a number of good qualifying sessions in the last few weeks. Part of his game is really improved.
Currently Big Al on his first time lap.
Yes.
Just entering sector 3 at the moment.
So he's got through that section that he managed to spin on his first flying lap, so hopefully he'll be able to keep it together through this final section. Misses apex slightly on that little hairpin in the stadium section. Misses apex again in the second last corner. Should get a time on the board. Goes P2, so that was a very good time. He just needs to tidy up those last couple of corners and he will be on provisional pole. There he has a 113.468 as Trin behind him sets 113.409. The Ferrari driver jumps a lot of positions there to the front of the field by about 300ths. As Mikau on the Racing Point is starting his next flying lap as well. The Speedbird does indeed select medium tyres, so keep an eye on him to come out in the dying couple of minutes. Let's just stay on board with the Racing Point driver and see what a fast lap looks like on this track. Ferrari driver getting out of the way there nicely. Short shifting it through the second little stadium section. A little bit of traffic coming up though in sector 2. Red Bull cutting the track to stay out of the way. Mikau is... Oh, it is invalidated again. That's the second time he's invalidated during his qualifying session. Just clipping the inside, a little bit too much curve at turn 10. Thank you so much for the follow, Jack Humphreys. Unfortunately, Mikau will have to come into the pits. And he'll have to have another go in a couple of minutes' time. Jump up with Wahid, the other Williams driver. He's about halfway through his lap at the moment, about 10th and a half up on his time, so that'll put him maybe just in front of Phoebus. Potsy goes on provisional pole with 113.3. Great time from the Alfa Romeo driver. Wahid 4 tenths up now. Oh, he's backed out. I don't think he invalidated, but that's interesting. The track hasn't come up red for me, but he backed out and he was 4 tenths up. It would have put him into P11. Got Matsoid has invalidated his run as well, unfortunately, so he'll be coming into the pits. And I think we've only got Potsy and Panda out on track at the moment, apart from Geordie, who's on another outlap, so we'll jump up with him while we wait. Let's jump into the chat for a second. Page Baguette, where Trin buy his hacks this week? Well, we know all the dodgy deals that Ferrari drivers do with the FIA, so I'm sure whatever they keep this week will get a secret settlement that no one will ever find out about, and he'll be back to his normal pace next week. So,
being Ferrari, probably wish.com. So currently the top 13 drivers all covered by 1 second. And as we were saying before, Star's the only driver that won't be setting a lap today in qualifying. Never know, could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing in Tier 2 as well. We've got lights serving a qualifying ban, which at this track is not a massive deal because you do have a lot of opportunities to overtake here, especially into Turn 1 and Turn 4.
Just don't forget to load your setup.
Exactly. I just on board with Geordie now, who's on his probably final run, I'd say. We've got just under 2 minutes left in the session. Very tidy for the first couple of corners. We'll have his first sector split coming up just before the next corner. And he's currently just about on par with his previous times, 12 thousandths in it, but that's going to be enough to jump him up to P3. Oh, he's lost the rear at turn 5, and that is it for this run. He's turned everything off. He'll go again after this, but luckily he's got enough time to get back to the start-finish line. So yeah, just asking a little bit too much of the rear tyres there coming out of turn 5, and just lost the rear. So we're going to jump down now to Sid, the Red Bull driver, who's coming into turn 4 now as well. Just passing the Haas driver who stays out of the way. Big lock-up. Most of the drivers pushing into turn 4, locking up that front left. There's a lot of curb in the exit. And a lot of speed shifting up through turns 6 and 7. Flicks it into turn 8 and turn 9 using as much curb as he can. Coming through to 11 and 12 here. Absolute 100% commitment there. Through the corners, he's coming up to the McLaren, and hopefully will stay out of his way. Might be a bit distracting there. Oh, and he's invalidated. He has pushed a little bit too hard there. I just wonder if he was a little bit distracted by Fieber going a bit deep there.
Yeah, Fieber invalidated, and he was up on his time as well on the medium tyre. And he's going again, is Fieber.
Ferrari Smitty goes up to P5, 113.456 now. And let's jump on board with Fieber, who's on his second run on those medium tyres. We've only got 10 seconds left in the session, so I think the Haas is going to be the last car to cross the line at the end. Maybe a couple of others might be able to do another one. Just have to wait and see. Fieber looking pretty good. Turns 1, 2, and 3. And he's currently 3/10 up on his time as he comes into turn 4, so it's going to be good enough to get him into the top 10. See how much time he can. Oh, he loses the rear a little bit through turn 5, just like we saw Geordie do just a moment ago. That'll cost him a little bit, but see how much he makes up. Next few corners. Using every little bit of track he can get away with through here. A little bit of a lift as he nearly turned it too early, but he's kept it flat. 3/10, nearly 4/10 now. Coming into the stadium section. At the moment, this will get him into the top 10, but not much further than that. Takes a lot of curb through the stadium. Trying to open up the final couple of corners. Gets the throttle down nice and early. The last corner taking all the curb he can. And he only improves by 0.07 of a second. And that is it. Fieber will start the race in 13th place. Now we're going to have a look back. We've got the racing point of Mikau has just jumped up to P1 with 113.1. We've got the Haas as well. Vartanis with 113.2 going P2. We've got the Ferrari of Trin is about to come across the line now. It's currently 0.08 of a second up, and he goes up to P3 with 113.259. We've got the other Haas of Condon about to come across the line now. 0.2 improvement up to P11. Both Mercedes drivers coming across the line. Panda P5, P-Mac down in 14th. With the Alfa Romeo of Pozzi about to come across the line now as well. Doesn't improve. And we've got the Alfa Tauri of Pacey about to come across the line as well. That's what goes P12. Pacey just behind him. Improves by 0.5 second, goes up to P10 as well. We do have a couple more drivers out on the track. We've got Geordie's retired. Big Al is still going, but he's invalidated. We've got Wahid as well, coming through the stadium section now, but he has turned off his ERS, so I think he is done. So congratulations to Mikau with pole position with 113.1. Tanis P2, Trin P3. And we have 1 second covers the top 13 drivers, so great effort. Great effort by all those guys.
Yeah, very, very tight.
So yeah, a bit disappointing to see Fieber so far down the order, but yeah, he just made a couple of little mistakes there in Sector 2 that really hurt his time. So we'll be looking forward to seeing him work his way through the grid. The alternate strategy not quite working out for him in qualifying, but it could be a blessing in disguise here. We're just going to jump through the remainder of the positions. We've got Potsy P4, Panda qualifying 5th, but let's just see if the game bugs out or not and lets him start in the correct position or if it's at the back. Got Chordy in P6, Smitty 7th, Big Al 8th, Sid 9th, and Pacey 10th. We've got Wahid, Pondon, Matsoid, Fever, T-Mac, combined stars rounding out our grid this evening. But yeah, really, really close field. If we look, half a second covers the top 8 cars. That's really, really impressive how close those guys are.
Yeah, yeah.
Lights. Yeah, so you can use the number keys on your keyboard to jump between 1 to 10. And if you press the shift key while you press those numbers, it'll jump to P11 to 20. Okay, just loading into the race session now. So we'll have a formation lap as per usual. And then after that, we will be underway for the race. So let us know your predictions in the chat. Bandcamp, what are you expecting from this race tonight?
Well, I'm expecting another strong performance from Macau, especially starting on pole. To run down to turn 1 is definitely going to be a challenge for him. So he'll have to make sure he gets his tyres up to temperature. Fever's going to be one to watch for sure. Pardon me, trying to come through the field. But yeah, being Mexico, we've seen lots of incidents here, so anything can happen. I think time penalties are definitely going to come into play at the later stages of the race as well.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting run into turn 1 for Macau as well. I think he'll have to be on the defensive because while he does seem to be a couple of tenths a lap quicker than the rest of the field, that first lap's going to be pretty treacherous for him. So seeing Pondon top 5 is a prediction from Parker Hoy.
I mean, it's not impossible. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
but yeah, the first lap is going to be very important. The DRS train's going to be pretty strong around here, I would expect. So yeah. Red Panda is starting in 5th place, by the way.
So let's have a look. Oh, that's fantastic for Panda, so some good luck for him finally. So let's have a look at the tyre choices. So obviously the top 10 all starting on the soft tyre after qualifying on it. Everyone except T-Mac outside the top 10 starting on the medium. So T-Mac opting for the softs. And as you can see on the AWS strategy there, 2-stop is the way to go. Soft, soft, medium, or soft, medium, medium. So obviously that'll depend on whether or not we have safety car in that pit window. Yeah, you can do a soft to hard 1-stop, but you need to be very kind to the tyres and you need to be very quick on the hard to be able to make it work. But yeah, I think everyone's pretty on point. I think Macau's going to be very tough to beat here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Fever on the podium, especially running the alternate strategy. We'll be able to go much longer on that first stint. And yeah, we've got a prediction as well from Paige Baguette. Reckons that Stars will get points. So hopefully that's the case. I think he did say in Discord a bit earlier this evening that he's just hoping to finish because he hasn't had a lot of practice for this race. So good to see him back though. He's been away for a couple of weeks. So great.
Well, he's definitely quick enough to be in the top 10. It's just a matter of getting there and keeping your wing intact.
Yeah, and obviously without having a lot of practice as well, you're not going to be as consistent when you're quick, and track limits becomes a big issue because if you haven't practiced those lines properly, you're going to pick up those warnings pretty quickly. So hopefully for his sake, he has a nice clean race and is able to get a couple of points for the racing point. So drivers just forming up on the grid now. Last couple of drivers coming around the last couple of corners, so we should be underway shortly. Last couple of cars just pulling up now on the grid. Here we go, lights coming on, engines revving. Yellow flag in sector 3 already. And we're away. Are we? No. The cars are not moving. There we go. Weird. All right, and they're off. See the cars spread massively. We've got the Haas of Artanis is bogged down massively in the middle of the grid. Let's have a quick look, because we've got, I think that's Potsy there darting behind the cars as it goes 3-4 wide into turn 1. See if everyone's well behaved. Oh, we've got Mercedes round. Panda's gone round and broken his wing. Oh, such a shame for the Mercedes driver there.
And T-Mac as well, dropped right down.
Both Mercedes getting into trouble. So got the run down into turn 4 now. Jostling for position. Looks like we've got the Ferrari, Smitty and Potsy coming together. Potsy's done a half spin. We've got the Red Bull and AlphaTauri as well. Having a bit of collision. And Smitty and Potsy getting some penalties there. I think Sid's got one as well. And we've got a safety car already in this race. We didn't even make it to turn 7. Wow. They're hectic there. Let's have a quick look. Looks like Mikau's got away unscathed without much drama. Trin also has been okay. It looks like most of our front runners didn't have much of an issue as well.
Well, that's lucky for the Mercedes guys there.
Yeah, they'll have to double stack when they come into the pits. I think they've both got damage. Definitely Panda.
Yeah, I think T-Mac may have damage.
Yes, missing his right end plate, whereas Panda, I think, is missing his left end plate and a fair bit of that left side.
Yeah, well, if I was Panda, I'd just be backing right off at the moment.
So just seeing Potsy's coming into the pits now as well. So he had a little bit of wing damage. Got the Red Bull of Sid coming in. So he had a penalty as well for a collision there. And we're seeing, both Mercedes drivers coming into the pits as well. And Panda spared into the pit lane. No, Panda. Did I give him commentator's curse during qualifying? I wish that he'd had a good race, and unfortunately it's not off to a great start. So Potsy chucking on the medium tyre, Sid as well. Let's see, T-Mac going from the softs here. He's got that front wing, so poor Panda's getting held there for a long time. And Star's up to P9, well spotted by Page there. Great start from him. Fever's up to P7 as well, so we'll just have a quick look at the movers and shakers there. So Trin up 1, Geordie up 3, Smitty up 3, but he does have a penalty. Tanner's down 3, Big Al up 2, Fever up 7 positions, Pacey up 2, Stars up 8 positions, Wahid, Ponton and Matzoid all up 1, combined up 3, Potsy, Big Losers down 10, T-Mac is maintaining position, so at least he's got that positive. Sid down 7 and Panda down 12 positions. So we've got penalties there. Yeah, both Smitty and Panda getting 5-second penalties. I thought I saw Sid pick one up as well. He may have served it during the safety car period, which is obviously not legal in real life, but the game sometimes lets you do it because it's fantastic.
It's esports ready.
Absolutely. So we've got in the chat, Lights reckons that mediums will do 16 laps. Tay saying hards will go the full distance. So no one opting for the hard, so it's not a quick tyre. It may last the length of the race, but as we see the predicted stop strategy showing up there as well.
I mean, Potsy might try and do medium.
Yeah, well,
I think he started on the softs.
Absolutely, so it is possible. So if you do 16 laps, or it's going to be cutting it pretty fine. 2 mediums will do 32 laps. I mean, obviously being under the safety car would help with the tyre wear.
T-Mac's in the pits again.
Did he put on another set of mediums?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is there.
Did he break his front wing as well again? Might have to have a look at the instant replay for me, Ben, and see if you can see what happened with that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I can't understand why he would come into the pits, because he started on softs and then he chucked on the mediums when he came into the pits at the start, and then
maybe he wanted to swap places with Panda.
That's one way to do it.
Put a heat cycle in the other set of mediums, Yeah,
just rode him a little bit, get that wax off the top.
Get that sheen out, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I'd be expecting the safety car to come in this lap, so I don't think it's going to have any real effect other than they've swapped places.
Exactly. I mean, T-Mac's almost caught up in his pit twice. he's done all right. He's only lost 2 positions in net, so...
Safety car in this lap.
Go, jump the ball with Mikau. He's leaving to get some tyre temperature generated. Comes into the stadium section.
Mikau really bunching them up now.
Be interested to see It's not like Magello or those tracks where you've got a bit of a gap from the last corner to the start line. It's right on the end there. He's going to have to go soon. He's already got the overtake on, and he's gone now in the final corner. I just wonder how many cars are going to be able to make it around with cold tyres.
There's a big gap.
Yeah, Wahid has dropped off massively. Look at that. Massive gap to leaders. We've got Artanis having a go on Smitty. Already has a bit of overlap on the run into turn 1. And we've got Trin under attack by Geordie as well. So we see them go side by side through turn 1, turn 2. Smitty and Artanis still side by side on the run down. I can't see what's going on in the back, but it looks like they're going through relatively unscathed. Smitty covering the inside as Big Al's trying to get past him down the outside of turn 4. They go side by side, still side by side through turn 6, and Smitty's had to yield, but now he's under pressure from Fever, who's all the way up into P7 now, benefiting quite a bit from the safety car there. We've got a bit of movement at the back with Sid there making a move on combined. Turn 6 and 7. From him. And they'll go single file through sector 2. A lot of space at all. Jumping a little bit further up. Fonzie looks like he's right on the back. We've got Wahid is going very slowly through sector 2, and he loses 2 positions, both the Stars and Potsy. Was able to sneak in just before the stadium section there. He's got someone at the back. I think that was T-Mac or Panda. Got very
Panda's gone wide. I think he almost went into the back of combined.
Got Wahid and Sid battling it out through the stadium section as Mikau has absolutely bolted at the front. He's going to jump up with Artanis now, who's on a very good run behind the Williams. Saying that slipstream though, so I think he's actually going a bit defensive from Big Al. To see Fever now making a move on Smitty into turn 1. Oh, Smitty turning in very early there in the McLaren, nearly losing the rear. He does manage to stay in front, he's gained the position. And Fever up to P6 now. We'll jump a little bit further back as Potsy and Stars battling it into turn 3. They go side by side and bang wheels just for the DRS detection point. Gonna have a run down to turn 4. Racing Point does have the inside line. Potsy is in front. They're going to give each other enough room through turn 4. And 5, looks like the Alfa Romeo's got the line, forces the Racing Point off the track. He's got the position, and now Sid has got the inside line on the Racing Point as well. Takes a lot of curve on the inside, and he's had a little bit of bang tyres there, and he's lost the rear slightly, and has to back off as Stars has got that position.
Wahid really going backwards ever since that restart where he dropped right off.
I wonder if he had to catch a spin or something through Sector 2, or maybe he's picked up some damage or something. But yeah, he definitely was going a lot slower than everyone around him, and he's all the way down to P14 now after such a promising start. Mikau setting the fastest lap of the race with a 117.6. Starting to see the gap spread out just a little bit now. Sid has a pretty good run on Stars.
And Fever up into P6 on the medium tyre. And he's able to stay with those soft runners, so he's looking really strong at this stage of the race.
Absolutely, and that alternate strategy is really going to help him out towards the back end of the race when he can jump on those soft tyres when everyone else will be on the mediums. Potsy now having a good look at the back of Matzoid now for P10. Quite close enough to get the move done into P4. Start to see the softs dropping off in a couple of laps' time. Safety car will have helped their tyre wear just a little bit. It's certainly not going to help them extend it to just a one-stop. The drivers have been doing pretty well with the penalties. Not too many getting pinged for track extensions at the moment. We've just got a drive-through, so the spinning the pit lane for Panda and Smitty with that collision a bit earlier in the race. Back a little bit, Sid's looking very racing behind Stars, and T-Mac as well. Combined, it's moved up into P15, and Panda getting, as I just said, getting a exceeding track limits penalty as he's battling combined through the final couple of corners. They're going side by side through that final one. I think Panda may have just picked up DRS as well, and the Renault drivers, oh no, they've both got it off T-Mac in the front. Panda trying to give him a big squeeze against the grass here, and the Renault's actually had to drop a tyre onto that dirt side. He's covered that inside nicely. Panda's forced back to the outside, trying to open up the corner. Oh, they've gone round. Panda's gone round again. They've got their tyres tangled up, and Panda has spun off at turn 2. And he's now 7 seconds off the pace now, unfortunately for him. Fever has picked up a penalty, so he's pushing a little bit too hard at the moment. Trying to close that gap. He's all out for P6 and he's within DRS range of Big Al in front, and he's nearly dropped Smitty behind. You can see there's a bit of a gap forming between Pro, Smitty, and the rest of the field. Jumping back, Potsy again, and making a move onto Matzoid, heading into the stadium section. Matzoid's able to keep it around the outside, which gives him the inside for the hairpin, but now he's going to have to yield to the Alfa Romeo, who should be able to get the job done here. He's been very kind to the Alfa Tauri, giving him a lot of room on the outside. He's still side by side to the final corner, and now Sid getting a very, very good run on the sister team there, as we see Geordie pit, the first one of our soft runners to come into the pits and chucks on the medium tyres. We've got 3 wide now coming down into turn 1. We've got a yellow flaggers. I think that's Panda at the final corner. Now for Romeo and the Red Bull going side by side through turn 1 and turn 2. Looks like Potsy's been able to hold on to the position. Matzoid getting past there as well with the help of DRS. See Sid making the move on the Alfa Romeo now into turn 4. Alfa Romeo keeps around the outside. It looks like Matzoid's had a little bit of a mistake there into turn 4, and Potsy's been able to get through, and he's been shoved right out wide onto the AstroTurf, which gives the Red Bull the move on the inside. Alfa Tauri hanging in there. Now Stars up in P12. He's having a good think about it as well. They go around the corner into turn 8. The Red Bull somehow managed to get it done on the outside without colliding with the sister car of Matzoid. Gets the move done nice and cleanly. So sit up to P10 now. Potts has already pulled a gap of nearly a second on that little battle pack there. Stars all over the back of the Alfa Tauri as well. Having a look up the front. Got a little bit of a gap now. Beaver's got past Smitty for P5. Digal closing in on the back of Artanis. A very good race there up in P3. Stars just a couple of tenths now behind Matzoid. Good job done. Both got DRS though, so the nearest train is proving quite strong at the moment. Racing Point tucks out of the slipstream. He's just a little bit too far back to make a move. T-Mac, meanwhile, is up to P13, so it's the safety car. It's a pretty good job.
Yeah. The soft runners will be getting close to pitting pretty soon.
Yeah, we've already seen Geordie pull the trigger. We'll see how much of an undercut he's able to get on the other front runners. Doesn't look like any of them have reacted just yet, but I do see the Red Bull of Big Al peeling off into the pits. His tyres changed, and it looks like Pacey as well from AlphaTauri coming in to get those changed.
I think that that Big Al is, I think he's Ali's brother.
Yes, so I'm told. I'm just waiting for Ali to remind us of that in the chat. Meanwhile, Geordie is just set the fastest lap of the race on the medium tyre. Is he going to get an undercut on Big Al and Pacey? He does very comfortably, and he's in quite a bit of clean air
by
as well.
some margin, yeah.
So let's have a look at that as well when we see the other front runners. So we've still got Mikau, Trin, Artanis, and Smitty to pit. Let's just keep an eye on that and see how much ground Geordie's able to make up. But that's very promising pace from him.
And he's only 3.7 seconds behind combined as well.
Fair gap between our top 5 and the rest of the grid. It's about 6.5 seconds back to Potsy. We've seen Potsy as well picked up a penalty last lap as well, and Smitty picks up another one. So I think he's got a total of 8 seconds now. So we've got that 5-second penalty for the collision on lap 1 and a 3-second penalty now for exceeding track limits. As we've seen the race leaders come in, except for Mikau. Mikau has stayed out. Fever has come into the pits. Does he? No, he stayed out.
No.
I think it all changed when he went past. So Fever moves up to P2 as Smitty has stayed out, but Artanis and Trin coming into the pits. So let's keep an eye on Geordie, who's coming around the final corner now. Trin's just pulled out of his pit bay, but Geordie's got a mega undercut. He clears both of them very comfortably. And Big Al as well has been able to jump Trin and Artanis. So So even that one lap undercut has really helped him there. Just going to jump a little bit further up as Stars having a good look at Matzoid on the run into turn 4. Gets it done well before the corner. I think Matzoid knew he was pretty much done there. Didn't defend too hard, but he does also pick up a 3-second penalty just crossing that white line. These conditions are very, very strict here with track limits. Sid so close to the back of Pondon. Pondon running a little bit wide. It's going to compromise his line here, and Sid has to get right out of the throttle. Pondon just unable to keep as much speed through that sector 2 twisty section. And Sid able to get the move done. He runs very, very wide though on the exit of the corner into the stadium section. He's able to stay in front. So see Smitty is sped into the pit lane as well. So another 5-second penalty to add to his time.
So he'll serve one this stop and another next stop.
Yeah, he's dropped a fair way down. It's Big House, it's fastest lap of the race now. 1:17.3. Geordie's almost got up to the back and combined now for P10. Mikau staying out. I wonder if he's going to do the one stop. He's going to go soft to hard. As Geordie's picked up a 3-second penalty now for track limits. It's about a third of the way through the race so far. I'm seeing a bit of spread at the start of the pack. We're yet to see Mikau come into the pits yet. FIBA as well will be going long on those medium tyres, but it's got the gap down to just 3 seconds to Mikau. So I wonder if Mikau's doing a fair bit of tyre management at the moment, just trying to get them as long as he possibly can. Interesting to see though if he goes onto the hards or if he's going to go soft, medium, soft.
He's pitting this lap.
There we go, we're going to find out, and let's keep an eye on Geordie. Has picked up a penalty for exceeding track limits. He's been pushing very, very hard. Just wonder if he's going to come out close to... Ooh, he's caught a lot of traffic though. See all those guys who pit early have come out. Frias disappeared pretty quickly, and he's got a good toe though. He's going to be close on the exit, and he's got it. He's got the move done. The undercuts worked very well. Mikau's down in P11 now, but he's come out on the hard tyres, so he's going to one stop.
Interesting.
So
very, very interesting.
I wonder if FIBA's going to come out on the hards as well, or if he's going to do a medium soft towards the end. But yeah, that's it's interesting. Not many other drivers are going to be doing that strategy tonight.
And Mikau straight, already under pressure from Big Al.
Yeah, and with that,
come out right in the thick of it at the moment.
Qualifying is only a couple of tenths quicker than the rest of the field, so it's on a hard tyre, so he's going to be under a lot of pressure from those top guys on the medium tyres. So interesting to see if he can keep them at bay and clear that traffic as well at the same time without picking up any damage. But he's making a move onto combined, and he had to back out of that there. He tried to stick the nose down the inside. He wants to combine the wriggle on a little bit because he doesn't want to get held up. He's just going to leave him vulnerable to all those quick guys behind him. Should get the move done.
Wahid pitting.
Turn 1, Wahid picking up the 5-second penalty now.
Yeah, speeding as well.
There we go, Mikau going to run, but Big Al's going to have to tow as well from the Renault. Doesn't quite know which way to go. He's going to try and get Mikau into turn 1. He cuts to the inside, but decides better of it. And combined with just staying out of the way there. Doesn't want to get caught up in this at all. And he's lost a couple of positions there. Trin's able to get through as well with Big Al. And I think Artanis is about to get him as well on the run into turn 4. He's done that pretty well, Mikau. He's still got about a half a second gap behind. So about a second and a half to Geordie in front, who obviously was the first one of those leaders to pit. He's currently working his way through the field as well. See Sid finally pitting out. I think he's the first one of the medium runners from the start to pit.
It says his tyres are only 13 laps old, so...
Interesting. Chucks on the hard as well, as we see Stars go around the outside of Pondon into turn 1. And he's got it done. And Mikau under a lot of pressure from Big Al now. He's able to hold him off into turn 1. He's able to hold him on into turn 4 as well. Alex, there are the penalties for you. As we see Mikau just holding off Big Al into turn 4 as well. Stars up in P3 now, but he's got a bit of a train formed up behind him.
A train that goes all the way back to P11.
Yeah, nearly everyone in DRS range from 3rd down to 11. Just Matsoy dropping off a little bit at the back of Geordie as Mikau gets through him as well.
Fever into the pits.
Go, interesting where he comes out. Keep an eye on Geordie now. He's coming through the last corner.
Soft tyres going on.
Okay, so 2-stop for Fever. 2-stop is confirmed. Geordie able to clear Fever pretty easily. See, T-Mac and Bonnen going side by side on the run into turn 1 as well. Stars in the lead of the race. But he wouldn't have been expecting this after not practicing much for the weekend. You see Geordie trying to go around the outside of Pondon at turn 3, and I think he's got it done. T-Mac and Pondon battling pretty hard. It's turn 1 and 2. Geordie now trying around the outside. Oh, no, sorry, inside. Pondon battling pretty hard with Geordie, considering he's on a different tyre strategy.
Wahid setting the fastest lap of the race, showing that these soft tyres are quick.
And Geordie having to back out there. I think he was expecting Pondon to defend quite as hard as he did, and that's now left him pretty vulnerable to Mikau, who's hot on his heels, and he's just committed another penalty. Tries to squeeze Mikau now, who's got past him. This is that little error, and he takes the position into the stadium section. Mikau now moves up to P4. Geordie under a lot of pressure now from Big Al behind, and Trin and Artanis close behind as well. It was Geordie running very wide there, and he's actually just been passed by Big Al as well on the inside. We see Pondon finally peel into the pits. As Geordie and Big Al go side by side down the pit straight. Red Bull trying to give him a bit of a squeeze, but Williams has got a good run on that racing line. Red Bull coming back at him though. You see the light flashing there on the Williams. It's running very low on ERS. It was at 0% briefly there before the corner of turn 1. So able to hold on, but he's just had to concede. Oh, he's nearly lost. He has. Oh, how did he save that? He's lost a bit of wing though. His front left end plate, I think, just fell off. Or was that the Red Bull? One of them lost some wing there. Geordie nearly spinning there. He did really well to control it.
They've both got their end plates, so it'd just be some minor damage.
Yeah, definitely some debris flying there though. Mikau now up to P2. And he's just a tenth of a second behind T-Mac, who's been on those mediums for 13 laps now. T-Mac was dead last after the safety car and is now up to P1. He's obviously a bit out of sync with the rest of the drivers. He's hoping to come in shortly. You see Fever is jumped past Trin now for P5. The soft tyres very, very quick at the moment. So I pick up another penalty. I think it's 9 seconds. Yeah, 9 seconds for the AlphaTauri driver. As Fever does indeed set the fastest lap of the race, 116.7. There's Trin and Artanis both coming into the pits. Did they get some wing damage? They did. So Trin, I'm not sure how he picked up that wing damage. And Artanis has lost his left end plate as well, so... I wonder what happened there. Big Al and T-Mac, turn 4. T-Mac very, very slow on those old mediums.
Interesting. Artanis going for the hards, Trin going for the mediums.
Mediums may be able to make it to the end now at a stretch, but yeah, definitely the hards are a lot safer. Fever trying to get past T-Mac. Oh, he's collided with T-Mac and he's gone around. He hasn't gone into the wall, but he's had a spin. He tried to go side by side with T-Mac into the twisty section of Sector 2. And he's had a big spin. And he's lost a ton.
Well, that's an unsafe rejoin there.
Just hit someone, and he's reset to track as well in the middle of that.
I don't know if that was a reset to track or if that was the game automatically resetting him, because that was quite quick.
That was nuts.
Patience, and he's bumping wheels with Wahid as well.
I think Wahid's got the elbows out as well. I think he didn't appreciate that rejoin particularly much.
I mean, when you're in Fever's position, you just got to be patient sometimes. You're faster. You know, you're catching the cars ahead. You just got to wait for the right moment to make that move. Now he's dropped all the way back down into 7th place. He'll be kicking himself after that one.
Apparently Psycho, has confirmed that was a reset to track. He was watching the POV of Fever at the time, so yeah, unfortunate, but yeah, that's what happens.
My game just crashed.
Oh, this guy.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with the lobby.
That's all right. Still going. Just join back when you can. Okay, we've got Condon now. Very close to the back of Stars for P10. See T-Mac finally coming into the pits. To go to home on the mediums. He did start on the soft, so he has seen all of his requirements. Fever does set the fastest lap in the race now. Bouncing back after that little spin he had a bit earlier. Potsy right on the back of Pacey now. For P3 is on the reasonably fresh soft tyres versus Pacey's mediums. He gets a move done. Yeah, sure, Psycho. Here are the penalties for you. And what's he getting the move done pretty comfortably. Going to jump back to Ponta now, who's under a fair bit of pressure from Stars now for P9. And they got combined as well, having a great race from Renault close behind as well. Front of the race as well. Big Al just a couple of tenths behind Mikau. He's really struggling to get through the traffic at the moment. Big Al, I'm sure, has to pit again. He's been on those tyres for about 9 laps, so he's got a few more to go. He's doing very well to stick with Mikau on those hard tyres, but Mikau will be able to go to the end on those.
Alright, I'm back.
So Stars in front of Combined now. That Combined has DRS on the back of the racing point. Smitty picking up another penalty at the moment. And Geordie as well. Geordie at the moment down in P12, having pit for his final set of tyres. Should be able to get him to the end. A bit of a lull of the race at the moment. Most of the grid pretty far apart. To T-Mac though is on the back of Geordie for P12. He's just coming out of the pits with the fresh medium tyres. We'll see him to the end.
Big Al holding on onto the back of Macau at the moment.
Yeah, he's done pretty well to stick with him, but Mikau just showing how quick he is, even on those hard tyres, able to stay in front of Big Al. So you see Sid making a move onto Wahid now, into turn 4. Red Bull driver moving up to P7. So Williams is able to stay down the inside, but Red Bull just a bit too much grip around the outside. They'll get the move done. T-Mac meanwhile, same corner, getting past Geordie. He also has to run very wide, the Mercedes, and they get the move done cleanly. Capture the little incident a bit earlier. Yes, I did. Yes, there we go. So T-Mac was in front of the McLaren at the time of that spin. Yeah, just unfortunate. Didn't quite catch the rejoin though, so I'm sure we'll see some footage of that after the race. Big Al just 2/10 behind Mikau now on the run into turn 1. Mikau blocks the inside line. Oh, sorry, that's turn 4. Takes the racing line, I should say. Yeah, great pace from the Red Bull driver. So this little battle brewing, P11 between Geordie and T-Mac. They keep probably changing positions. Job battling it out there, and I've got Stars up to P9 now, just behind Pondon. Great little race from him. And the hard tyres as well. He doesn't have to pit again, whereas I believe Pondon will have to, so we'll combine. He's just behind the racing point. About 2/3 through the race now. Mikau just holding on to the lead from Big Al. Potsy sitting pretty comfortably in P3. Pacey all the way up to P4. He does have to pit again. And Smitty, good race so far with P5 as Big Al is finally making his move into turn 4 on the inside of the racing point. And he's been able to get the move done nice and clean. He's finally got through. He's only got a couple of good laps left on those medium tyres before he'll have to pit again for the softs to the end. And yeah, we want to make up the most of that fresh air that he has and not worry too much about the racing point behind him. But given how late in the race we are, and Miguel will have a full pit stop to make back on the tyres he takes to the end, I think Mikau is definitely in prime seat to take the win of this race. But there's plenty of time left. There could be a late safety car.
Big Al's pitting.
There we go. So that's it. 11 laps to go. Oh, is he going to go softs? It's probably a bit too long.
Yeah, I reckon he'll go softs. Yep.
Yeah, he's got softs, but 11 laps. They're going to be pretty sad at the end of that stint.
Yeah. He'll probably struggle on the final lap, but I don't think he'll be really dependent too much on that final lap.
He's going to come out in a fair bit of traffic as well. He's just been passed by Stars and nearly Combined. He's slipped up just in front of Combined. He's going down the inside as well. And Combined ended up losing the position there. Just in the background, I've got Trin getting past Matsuid as well. So Big Al on those fresh softs will be the quickest out of these midfield guys, but he's going to have to negotiate all this traffic as we see Ponton and Stars going side by side through turn 5 and 6 now with Big Al going down the inside. And I think Ponton had a little bit of a drama there and checked up Big Al a bit as they come through turn 8 and sorted themselves out. It's not a corner where you want to go side by side, just like Geordie and Combined are doing just a bit further back. This is not the kind of track where you want to be going side by side through this twisty section as the Williams driver tucks to the inside now, as you see just in front as well. Ponton and Stars still going side by side. Stars the inside line forces the Haas a bit wide. Ponton trying to go down the inside, not a lot of room there. Not sure why he decided to stick the nose down there. A bit further back, we've got T-Mac as well going side by side with Geordie to the last couple of corners. Geordie picking up a 3-second penalty there as he cut the track. You see someone peel off to the pits there. I think Fever and Ponton both coming in.
Pondon,
Pacey as well. All in the pits. As we see the last of the pit stops, we'll start to get triggered now. jump a little bit further back. It looks like Trin side by side with Pacey, who's just come out of the pits on those fresh soft tyres. Trin able to hold position, but I suspect he may be pretty vulnerable going into turn 4. It was Pacey nearly hitting the back of Trin, just that extra grip. Pushing him out a little bit, I think. And gets the move done pretty comfortably into turn 4. A bit further up, and T-Mac right on the back of Combined. Combined softs. Pretty sad at the moment. 10 laps he's been on those. He'll have to come into the pit shortly to go to the end. As you see, Mikau has pit. Mikau has come into the pit, so he's not taking those hards to the end. Is he reacting to Big Al's undercut? I wonder if he's a little bit too close. With 10 laps to go, he may be able to catch back up to him. Mikau chucking on the soft tyres. Potsy takes the lead, but he's also coming to the pits, so Mikau regains it. Sid inherits the lead with those hard tyres. And we see Smitty pit as well to get rid of those medium tyres. Oh, we've got everyone peeling off to the pits now. Can't keep up with everyone.
Well, Big Al is ahead.
Big Al has taken our effective lead of the race. So we see a lot of jostling for position here. We've got Stars has just taken Potsy. And a little bit further back, we've got T-Mac and Geordie still going side by side into turn 1. The Mercedes has nearly gone around. And the AlphaTauri trying to get around the outside as well. And the AlphaTauri has a little bit of collision with the Mercedes, who goes very wide at turn 3. Rejoins the track, but he should have a pretty decent run. As we see a little bit further up as well, Stars and Potsy still going at it as they go into turn 4. The Alfa Romeo go around the outside of the racing point. Oh, there's a little bit of collision. The Alfa Romeo nearly losing the rear there, but Potsy able to control it. And they all settle down as they go through turn 7, but Stars, his hard tyres just not firing. The Williams of Geordie going down the inside of turn 8. Move up to P5 now. He's got Pacey on those fresh soft tyres. He's really going to want to clear this traffic as soon as he can. He'll also get back up to Potsy as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Stars really struggling with ERS, down to 3% at one point there.
A little bit further down the grid, Phoebe's just moved back into the points. He's up into P10 after clearing Matzoid. Jump a little bit further back up as Pacey. Right on the back of Stars now. Big Al setting the fastest lap of the race with 1:15.7. And Big Al already on the back of Sid now for the lead, and they are teammates, so I'm sure Sid will not be making it hard work for Big Al. Oh, started out as Pacey as Stars trying to squeeze him against the grass. He does have the inside line, and he goes wheel to wheel with the Racing Point. Oh, and he does come out on top, so Racing Point just does not have the grip to stay with him. And he's lost out there. T-Max managed to get past him as well. And we see the switcheroos happened at Red Bull. Sid is now behind Big Al. Big Al in the lead. And Mikau already within DRS range of Sid. So we'll be seeing a genuine battle for the lead of this race right to the end. So
I'm sure Big Al will have told Sid, do what you can to keep him behind you for as long as you can.
Absolutely. And just jumping back, Fever all over the back of the Ferrari of Trin. Through that tight, twisty section where he had his spin a little bit earlier in the race. The Ferrari darts down the inside of Stars there, and Racing Point going off track. And I think Fever's benefited. He's taken both positions there by staying on track. And Stars drops down to P10. So Fever up to P8 now. Trin just hanging on to the points as well as Stars, with Matzoid looming a little bit further down, jumping a bit further up, and Sid has lost that position to Mikau, so he wasn't able to defend for particularly long, but understandable with those old hard tyres that he's running at the moment. And a little bit further down, Pacey just hanging on to Geordie, which I think he's just passed Geordie on the pit straight there as well, so well done to him. Moves up into P5, but we've got quite a number of penalties at the moment. Only Mikau, T-Mac, Artanis, Pondon and Combined have yet to get a penalty.
Yeah, like I said, track limits around here are very, very strict.
Jumping further back, Smitty making a move on Artanis into P4, into turn 4 for P12, I should say. Ali saying no team orders, so that pass between Big Al and Sid was legitimate. Pure racing.
Well, I mean, Ali would say that, being his brother and all.
See Fever dart down the inside of T-Mac. Oh, there's been a collision, and the McLaren has gone around again at the hairpin. And again, Fever just seemed to be rushing just a little bit to get up track position, and he's lost out again because of it. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I had a quick look at the replay. We're not ending the stream just yet. Have I not missed? I think I've got it, just the end of it. Oh, hang on, no. Oh, that was it. Anyway, never mind. Back to the real racing at the moment. T-Mac, hang on to the back of Geordie now, just a couple of tenths. Combined has been able to get past Pondon on the pit straight. And the move for the lead has been done. Looks like Big Al having a little bit of a mistake there, and the close you'd expect the move to get done. Mikal blitzing through. I think the Red Bull driver made a little mistake in sector 2. Now
well, maybe it's all part of the plan.
Well,
sit behind Macau, save some fuel, save some ERS. You never know.
5 laps to go, so he's still got a little bit of time, but he's going to want to stay in that DRS range just to get it done. So you see Bieber and Stars battling it out. He's into the stadium section, so this time the McLaren able to get through there cleanly. Smitty now on the back of Matsoid as well, coming around the final corner. Should it be a pretty comfortable move to do. So see Potty up into P3 on Sid. Comfortable pass there from Ferrari on Matsoid. Okay, so apparently Big Al let Mikal go. So yeah, maybe it is all part of the Red Bull master plan. T-Mac closing in on Geordie now, up into P7 after the start he had. I'm sure he'll be quite happy with this result so far. At the front, Big Al doing very well to stay within half a second of Mikal, so maybe we haven't seen the end of that battle. Just gonna check on the
I don't think we have. I really don't have.
Chucking on the penalties now, and it's quite a few. Big Al and Potsy have 3. We have 9 for Sid, 3 for Pacey, 15 for Geordie, 3 for Trin and Fever, 12 for Smitty, 3 for Stars, 9 for Matsoid, 6 for Wahid, and 3 for Panda, who I think left after his second earlier in the evening. Yeah, Big Al so close to the back of Mikal now. Ali saying that Big Al's running a race strat that you're not going to get in Bandcamp Racing School. So, interesting to see how it plays out. T-Mac and Geordie still battling. Hanging on to that P6. T-Mac on the racing line. I think Williams has lost DRS now.
And I wouldn't say that's not one of my strategies. That's one of my most used, actually. It's,
Or just give up rather than defend your position.
Well, a track like this, you're better off sitting behind the guy, right, and saving your fuel, saving your ERS, and while they're pushing, trying to defend you, right, you're just saving up, and then when it comes time, last 2 laps or so, you make your move. See you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially where there's a very long straight into turn 1 and a second DRS straight afterwards. It's yeah, definitely that strategy is very viable.
And that's something that took me a little while to get used to, especially when DRS and ERS came to Formula One. Just trying to use that to its to its maximum.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see, Geordie's got past T-Mac and now Fever just on the back of this little battle pack for P5. So Tanis and Wahid changing positions. Fever now getting past T-Mac, moving up into P7. Oh, and he's gone very, very deep into turn 4, and he has cut the track and lost those 2 positions. He's actually picked up a straight 3-second penalty there for corner cutting. I think he missed his braking point there and locked the brakes, and went straight on. A little bit Max Verstappen style, if you remember a few years ago at Mexico. Backing him up into Ricciardo as T-Mac nearly gets passed by Fever, who has to take the the scenic route there. And he stays behind T-Mac there. Mercedes driver there, got the elbows out. I don't know if that's the smartest decision. T-Mac does not have a penalty. He doesn't want to be losing time here fighting Fever, who's got quite a few. 9 seconds all up.
So Macau's light is flashing, or was, down that straight. So Big Al knows that Macau has got less than 10% ERS.
Meanwhile, Pacey up into P4. Sid dropping down to fifth. Those hards really starting to fade on him. Fever has got past T-Mac again. Fever is desynced to T-Mac, and T-Mac has hit him 3 times apparently. So that might explain some of the issues that we've seen Fever have trying to pass cars more aggressively. We've got a couple of laps to go after this one. Big Al staying right with Mikau. This is going to be a great finish to this race. See Fever there making a move on Geordie. Geordie staying out of the way there. I think he's aware of the penalties that he's got. Not trying to get caught up too much in other people's shenanigans. Big Al using a bit of squirt of overtake there on racing point of Mikau there, heading into turn 4. Dummies to the outside. I think he's just trying to get Mikau to use up his last of his ERS. And yeah, as you can see, he's only got just under 20%. Big Al's got about 30%, so doing very well. Just toying with the racing point at the moment. We've got a yellow flag though. We've got the Ferrari. I think that's Smitty. Smitty. Oh no, there's front wing all over the road. The Ferrari does a flick turn. Whoa, as you see, luckily he ghosted. But, oh yeah, the Ferrari missing his entire front wing there. The exit of turn 3. Unfortunately for him, all the way down to T16. So we've got a little train falling behind Stars there for P10. So Artanis going to gain quite a bit from this. He can just stay with the pack. He's got no penalties at all. So we've got a train from 10th all the way down to 15th. There we go, to start the final lap. We've got Big Al now. You see the flashing light of the racing point in front. Both of them, very little ERS. Oh, the Red Bull tries to double dummy. And he's down the inside. And he's got the lead from the racing point driver into turn 1. Now here we go. Can he hang on for the rest of the lap? There's only one opportunity, really, for Mikau to be able to get the move done. And the Red Bull driver does have DRS down the straight to turn 4. Now, bear in mind, Big Al does have a penalty of 3 seconds. Is he going to be able to pull out that much by the end of the lap?
I don't think so. I think this is more just about finishing ahead.
We'll stick with him just in case. You see Big Al staying in front. He's also not got as much tyre life compared to Mikau. Been on those softs for 10 laps. Mikau on them for 8. Of course, Mikau could always pick up a penalty as well in the last few corners.
He's only on the 1 warning, so he'd need to make 2 mistakes.
So they come into the stadium sections, the colours of the Mexican flag coming up in the flares. Big Al comes around the final corner now. He'll take the checkered flag first, but unfortunately...
He's out of fuel!
Oh, he's run out of fuel! He's lifted. I think he's lifted.
Oh, he lifted. Disappointed.
He's got
disappointed.
1/3 throttle. Ponzi comes across the line in P3. Pacey P4. Sid coming across the line in P5 as well. Been on those hards for 21 laps. A great effort from him to get the 1 stop to work. Fever comes across the line finally in P6 with Geordie coming across the line in P7. T-Mac in 8th jumps up to 6th. Trin jumps up to 7th after coming across the line 9th. We've got Matzoid now. There's a little battle pack here coming across the line. We've got, oh, they're jumping all over the place. We've got Artanis came across the line 9th, combined 10th, picking up a point there. Pondon 11th, Matzoid 12th. Stars comes across the line in 13th. Wahid 14th, Geordie 15th, Smitty limping across the line with no front wing in that Ferrari. And then we've got Panda in 17th as well. It's where that Ferrari goes faster without a front wing than it does with it. Driver of the day, T-Mac. Definitely a good race from him. He was at the back of the field after an incident on lap 1. Pit twice under the safety car. And he's come out pretty solid points finish there. So well done to him. But congratulations to Mick Al getting the win here. Well done to Big Al picking up P2 for Red Bull. And Potsy as well coming across the line third for Alfa Romeo. Looking very happy there for Racing Point. We've had a pretty good race today. And Mikhail also picking up the fastest lap of the race of the 1:15.437, so you get the bonus point there as well. Alright, so we're going to take a couple of minutes break as we get ready for our Tier 2 race shortly. Thank you so much to Bandcamp for joining me in the commentary box this evening for Tier 1. Good luck with your Tier 2 race shortly.
No worries, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Alright, so we'll be back, if I can find my cursor. We'll be back in, just about 4 minutes time, maybe a little bit longer, but we'll see you then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Aussie Formula Racing Tier 2 coverage this time for Season 6, Round 12 here from Mexico City, Mexico. Okay, we're just loading into the qualifying session now. Don't know where the forecast is yet. We should hopefully have Apollo Pepsi jumping into the commentator's box in a moment to provide us with an update in the meantime. Thank you so much for the follow. ZCC Bell at Twitch, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but thank you very much. So 4.3 kilometre circuit, 17 turns, a couple of DRS zones as well. Pretty action-packed race last time around for Tier 2. Most of it happening turn 3 and 4 complex. Here we had our Tanis just in the background there. You can see the Alfa Romeo losing the rear at exit of turn 3. We saw a couple of cars do a similar thing in the Tier 1 race just before Tanis DNFing on the last lap of the race. Unfortunately for him, picking up a lot of damage there. Turns 4 to 8, we had a great battle between Pondon and Lights through this little stadium section here in Sector 2. Side by side, giving each other plenty of racing room. Racing point there on the outside. Turn 7, side by side into turn 8 as a racing point. Smart decision, just backing out, trying not to cause a collision there as they go into the Sector 2 twisty section. We had a pretty mega battle between turns 4 and 7 between Tanis, Trend Stars and Pondon there. Trying to go through that turn 4 at the same time. Cars going all over the place through turn 5 as well. Still got 3 wide there with a Mercedes deciding to go off track. A lot of shoulder barging, elbowing happening there. This is what you don't do when you're going side by side through that section. We've got Mika and Skins there battling side by side through turns 4 to 8. McLaren driver taking the inside line, the Alfa Romeo on the outside, side by side, wheel to wheel. So they come up to turn 8. The Alfa Romeo just catching the rear tyre of the McLaren as it turned in for the corner and having a bit of a spin there, dropping down the order. And we had as well turn 11, Lick. Unfortunately, we saw this happen as well in the T1 race slightly earlier, just pushing a little bit too hard on those soft tyres. Spinning around at turn 11, hitting the wall, losing that front wing, and a ton of positions while he was at it. So, got to be very careful when you're going through that section. You don't lean on those rears too much. We had a great battle as well. Turns 14 to 17, Hero, Vassar and Psycho. Hero, unfortunately, just tagging the back of Vassar's Haas. And we also had at the front there Psycho as he came into the pit lane. Just losing the rear and colliding into the wall and breaking his front wing. So, hopefully he knows how to pit this time out. Doesn't have too many dramas. Alright, so the drivers are on the track now for a qualifying session. I believe the McLaren Wingman is already on a hot lap. And I'm joined in the commentary box by Apollo Pepsi. How are you?
Hello. I made it in the nick of time.
How were the V8s over the weekend?
It was amazing. The whole weekend was amazing. Probably the Porsches were more like mayhem, to be fair.
Yeah, I saw there was mega carnage on the pit straight there on, I think, yesterday's race. So, it's, yeah, it looked like a lot of fun from watching it on TV. So I can't imagine what it'd be like to have been there. It's been a while since I've been to the gates, so...
Alright, it was a couple of meters away from me.
That's awesome. Alright, so back to Tier 2 here. We've got a few guys on hot laps. So do we have a weather report for qualifying in the race for us?
Yeah, it is dry, and it gets sunnier towards the end of the session for the race.
No worries, right, thanks for that. So we see Lights there has retired, so he's serving a qualifying ban for, I believe, a deliberate retirement last week out at Spain. So I'm seeing he'll start from the back as Wingman comes across the line, setting provisional pole to 114.0, and a lot of other guys come across the line at the same time as well. So interesting to see if anyone's going to try and qualify on the medium tyres. See Bandcamp down in 17th, he's already selected them, but it could just be for a practice run. I did hear him talk about his strategy was going to be to just do one lap on the soft tyres. He's going to try and keep a couple of fresh softs for the race. As Vassar, who are we on board with? Vassar, yes, set a 115.9. Jump on board with Keeper as well, who's coming across the end of sector 2. Oh, was I missing one of my... Here we go. Okay, having a bit of a wobble there through the final corner. Comes across line in P13.
You've got Hero as well.
Yeah, Hero up to P3 with a 114.159.
that's 2 laps on that soft tyre, so he's going to want to improve that time so he doesn't have to stall on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, it's just bank lap at the moment. We should see some times pretty comfortably in the 113s. We'll just have to see how it unfolds. Got Bandcamp on an outlap at the moment. Just roading those medium tyres quite nicely. Most of the drivers at the moment out on the track will be coming in for change of tyres and a splash of fuel. Still got about 12 minutes left in the session, so plenty of time to set another couple of laps. So you see Bandcamp just about to start his lap now. Stick on board for the duration on the medium tyre, so it won't be able to push these as hard as a lot of the others are, but I imagine this will just be his bank lap. Comes into turn 1, braking about the 125 metre mark, taking a lot of curve on the inside of turn 1, opens up the corner nice in turn 2, and then turn 3. You get any one of those wrong, and it does compromise your exit onto the straight here on the run into turn 4. You saw a bit of a wobble from Bandcamp on the exit of turn 3. Brakes around about 115 metre mark there into turn 4, takes a lot of curve on the inside, and again for turn 5. Doesn't use as much of the track on the outside as you'd expect coming into turn 6 and 7. And again, turn 8, only just touching the curve there. You can get right out onto the AstroTurf there and turn in. Really helps you carry the speed through the corner. And it's really important for this twisty section because you can carry so much speed if you attack those curves. But it is very easy to invalidate as well. So you see a lot of drivers, I imagine, be invalidating their first runs. They're pushing too hard before they've got their eye in. As he comes into the stadium section hairpin. Car's rear looking a little bit loose. It's a bit temperature related. Comes around the final corner. Keeps it nice and tight. And comes across the line P15 with 116.1. So quite a bit of time to find there. We'll jump on board with Combat Rat in the Racing Point, who's on a lap now.
I was looking at Psycho just before the other Racing Point. He's actually ahead of Combat. He's actually in Sector 3 at the moment. He was Purple Sector 1, so he went quickest overall. But he hasn't set Purple Sector 2.
Well, Combat Rat was purple in Sector 1, and he's just invalidated as he's come into Sector 2. So, unfortunately for him, that's going to be it. As I press the wrong shift button, and there we go. Where did Psycho go? P8. So 115.267 there for the Racing Point driver, so great work by him. We've got Mika as well for Haas's start of the lap, so we'll jump on board with him. Comes up with a fair bit of traffic here, so hopefully they'll stay out of the way. It looks like, I think that is Hero there on his out lap. It's a well-timed run. Is he going to give his teammate a bit of a tow? A little bit. Not a lot.
Not really a good straight to give a tow on. You don't really earn that much tenths off that straight. Hopefully Psycho moves out of the way soon.
Yeah, he cuts the track there to stay out of the way, but I think he was caught napping a little bit there. He didn't look like he was paying that much attention. Oh, is very committed as Mika. He had to lift a little bit on the exit there to avoid losing the rear of the car, but very committed. 7 tenths up on his time. We'll put him up into around about P5. If he can find any more time, he might be able to edge a little bit onto the second row.
A little bit of lock up into the hairpin.
Runs it out very wide into the final corner. Most ideal line there. He comes across the line P5, 114.3. So we'll find a little bit more time in that final sector, but not quite enough. We're going to jump on board with Ali. His brother had a very good race in Tier 1, finishing P2. I'm sure he'll want to replicate that success this evening in Tier 2. And he's got the RS off, so this is not a flying lap. So we're going to jump on board with Andercat instead, who's just behind him.
I believe Ali just finished his lap.
Yeah, my overlay is not updating with the latest information, unfortunately.
One of Renault's just came across. Addy just starting a lap as well. And he's got the teammate behind him. Wingman just went fast at 13.6. Or was that always the quickest time? I'm confusing myself. My game's glitched. It won't tell me quickest times.
And the cat comes across the line. There's P4 with 114.169. Look how close it is between P2 and P5. Very close up there. So Batemate currently on a flying lap. Williams driver currently just at the end, start of sector 2. Another flag in sector 1. Two drivers slowing down to let faster traffic go through. Oh, and he's validated Batemate. Took a little bit too much curve on the inside there. I'll jump aboard with the Renault driver of Abby. He's a new reservist, I believe.
Yes. His first Tier 2 reserved race.
Looks like he's a pad driver. You can see how jerky the steering wheel movements are.
He is
Cost
looking
like P3 though, 114.031, so good time from him.
Kiro did a 13.7, so he's only a 10th off pole now. So times are getting quicker.
Mr. Spicer coming across the line. Goes P6 to 114.2. Comes down to Combat Rat, who's trying again for another run. Hopefully he's able to get his line a bit better this time.
Watching Combat now, he's coming to sector 2, 55 at 3 for his sector 2 time. I believe it'll be a 14.8, I think, or 14.6 he'll do.
Gets nice and tight to the pit wall and does a 14.3.
That was close.
P8. About half a second off. Let's see who else is on a lap at the moment. I'll jump on board with Quantum Effects in the McLaren, who's just come out of turn 3. Bit deep through turn 7 and 8, and yeah, loses the rear slightly as well. Turn 6 and 7. This is turn 8. Not quite using the curves as much as you possibly can. It's one of those tracks where you really need to exploit the track limits to get the maximum out of your lap time, but it is so easy to validate. Just get it just a millimetre too wrong. Still reckons he's going purple in sector 2, but not too sure about that. Comes around the final corner, it's very wide, loses the rear slightly, had to correct it. Comes across the line with a 0.6 improvement, but is still only 114.7, good enough for P10. Jump up to Bluey, who's actually backed out. Psycho retired, it looks like he's lost it after turn 11. Unfortunately, he's lost the rear. I'll see if Batemate is able to get up to...
been like quite a bit.
See if the racing point is visible. We've got the yellow flags coming up. And yeah, there's the racing point on the right hand side. He's lost his front tyres, so I'd say he's lost the rear going through turn 11 and is going straight into the wall. So unfortunately for Psycho.
I'll say something interesting. Batemate's on mediums.
Yeah, good observation. I'm on board with him. I didn't even notice. So yeah, let's see what he can do. 114.1 is how quick he was on the softs before, but we saw pole in tier 1. In the low 13s, high 12s. So see what he can do. Got about 4.5 minutes left in the session. He may be able to do a soft run if he's not going to improve much here. Comes into turn 1, all of the curve and the entrance, opens up the corner nicely. I think he turned in a little bit too early there for turn 2. He got right out of the throttle because I think he realised his mistake. Opens up the DRS on the run to turn 4.
Oh, back out of his hand. Moving always equal with his time.
Yeah, I think he made that little mistake there through turn 2.
All the time is in sector 2.
Short shifting through turn 6. Used all of that AstroTurf on the right. Oh, he's nearly invalidated there.
Oh, he's on the limit.
Absolutely, he's trying to wring every little split second he can. He's going to come up to a sector now.
Where is he?
He's lost time.
Down.
Yeah, he's lost time there.
I'll just pull off and go back and get it so soft.
Oh, he's run very deep in the hairpin as well. Surely he's going to have to abort now.
He's still going for it.
Might be winding up to start again. No, he comes straight to the pit, so he'll be chucking on softs and going again. He's got 3.5 minutes, so enough time to change tyres, go back out again, but yeah, not ideal. definitely worth the shot, but I think if he backed out earlier in the lap when he knew he was going to improve, he might have been able to go again, but not enough fuel, unfortunately, for him. So aboard with Ali, who's on a flying lap at the moment in sector 2. A lot of commitment there. Not quite attacking the curbs as much as some of the others, but pretty solid. 2.5 tenths up on his time, so that'll put him up into P10. A bit of a screen freeze there. Not sure what happened there. Well, I think it might just be a bit of a lag on Ali's perspective. Coming across the line, improves by 4 tenths, goes up to P10, so he's a couple of tenths behind Combat there. Jump off to Addy on the Renault, who's just started his flying lap. So we've got 2.5 minutes left, so we should see most of the drivers coming out now to start their final runs. With a commitment there for the Renault driver, using every little bit of curb he possibly can. Purple in the first sector, 3 tenths up on his time. That will put him into a 13.7.
Man, might even put him all just on that sector line. Keeping people in the other sector.
Boy, he's right up on the rev limiter there. Every little bit of curve that he can, keeps it nice and planted through turn 11. Brought out a few drivers, 2 tenths up now, so he's lost a bit of time from his best. Comes into the hairpin now. Thank you very much for the follow, Sunboard Muppet. Glad you could join us. Comes through the final corners. Definitely attacking this curve a lot. There's an Alfa Romeo there spinning in the pit lane. And Addy's improved by just under 2 tenths, so his sector 1 was really, really good, but sectors 2 and 3, just, yeah, not great.
Not as retired, he's done for the session. And everyone's going to start their laps now.
Yeah, Accelerate just about to finish his. Just got a minute to go, so should see a lot of people being able to finish their final runs. Accelerate can't improve, but he's going again by the looks of it.
Saxa will be the first car to cross with the last one.
Yeah, the Ferrari driver currently in sector 2 through the mini stadium. Nilsson, I reckon, it's a bit hard to say who's going to get pole here. Could be any one of Wingman, Batemate, Mr. Spicer. I think Batemate is probably the most likely, I think, to surprise us. He looked like he was trying to qualify in the mediums, but I think he's going for the softs this time, so see how he goes.
One of the horses, they're just letting cars through.
Saxa coming through the last couple of corners now. We've got 10 seconds left in the session. He may actually be able to go again, but I'd be surprised if he's got the tyres or the fuel to do it. Crosses the line, improves by half a second, goes up to P12. We've got a McLaren just behind him. I think that was...
He's still going again.
Quantum Effect has just crossed the line, improved by half a second. We've got the Racing Point of Combat just crossed the line there with a P5. We've got a Haas is about to cross the line. I think that's Hero. No, it is Nika who's just come across the line. 113.988. We've got a Ferrari. Woolley is about to come across the line now. And it doesn't improve, I don't think. We've got a Williams there. Batemate can't improve either. 114.1. We've got the McLaren at Wingman came across the line. 113.4. There you go. Made a few tenths there. We've got the Renault. Addy's come to the Van Camp. Oh, where is he? 12. P12. So good effort from him. Now for Terry Bassa. Doesn't improve.
Saxa's pulled his lap off.
Yeah, he's got the RS off, and I think that's it. Yeah, everyone has completed their lap, so Wingman takes pole position with 113.430. Bluey with 113.789, just 9 thousandths of a second quicker than Hero in the Haas. We've got Addy there in P4 with 113.8. Nika P5 in the Haas with 113.9. We've got Combat Rat for Racing Point P6 with 114.1. 38. 17 thousandths of a second clear of Batemate in P7, who's just 14 thousandths of a second quicker than Andercat, who's in P8. A little bit further down, we've got Mr. Spice in P9, Quantum Effect P10. Again, just a couple of thousandths of a second in it. Ali P11, free choice of tyre. Followed by Bandcamp, Saxa, Decelerate, Vasa. And that's Psycho and Nuts, Keeper, Bully, and Lights, of course, serving that qualifying ban from Spain. Just waiting for Saxa to retire, and we should be ready to load in for our race session.
And hopefully my game is fixed, so I'm gonna have to leave and reconnect.
There we go. So 1 second covering the top 10 cars, and all up about 2.2 seconds. So not too bad this time out. Definitely not seeing a lot of spread at the back of the field. So just about a second covering those bottom 10 cars. So good to see a bit of competition throughout the field. But Wingman looks like he's very competitive here at Mexico. As Heroes left the session, he should be able to rejoin though for the race. So no dramas there. And just waiting for the drivers to load up and select their strategies. So now, Pepsi, what's your prediction for the race? Any surprises or?
To be honest, I have no clue because I didn't do the tier 1 race and I don't know how tyres work around here.
So we saw most of the drivers do a 2-stop with the soft, medium, soft strategy. We did see Mika though attempt a soft, hard strategy, but decided to change to soft, hard, soft at the very end. Looking at the strategy now though, looks like only Bully outside the top 10 on the soft tyre, everyone else on the medium. So we did see this in tier 1 as well. It was just T-Mac opting for the soft tyre, and he actually got caught up in an incident, so his strategy went out the window pretty quickly.
The soft hard or soft hard is a doable strat, but it is way slower than the 2-stopper.
Yeah, you have to be very good at managing your soft tyres, and you have to be very quick on the hard tyre as well, because it is very difficult to pull that one off.
We'll probably see from the medium runners. We'll probably see a medium, soft, medium strategy, probably.
Yeah, it depends if people have saved their soft tyres from qualifying. Bandcamp has saved, made sure he's got 2 fresh set of softs for the race, so I'd expect him to go medium, soft, soft. But yeah, if people have used up all of their quali softs, we may see them have to do a medium, soft, medium run. Otherwise, I'll be managing the second set of softs, which will have been worn quite a bit.
Now that midsection of the track, that's going to be interesting with the worn tyres, the heavy fuel load now. We're going to see a lot of people going wide on exit and probably a lot of people turning a bit too early.
Yeah.
Turn 1 is going to be a mess in general. Lap 1.
Yeah, and track limits will be another thing to watch here as well. We saw nearly every driver get a penalty in Tier 1 a bit earlier this evening, so keep an eye on that one. It could have a fair bit of impact at the end of the race. Just waiting for the last couple of drivers to come around the final corner. Looks like that's lights and keeper,
that's a camera angle. I got a camera shot from like the halfway down the straight.
Last couple of cars pulling up now onto the grid. as we get ready for the lights to come on. Here we go. Lights coming on. Engines revving. And we're away. Looks like the racing point there of Combat having a great start there.
Addy gonna mega star. Oh, he's up
Give
second.
me a better angle, please. There we go. See the car scatter. We got 4, 5 wide
Addy's
in the
going,
middle. Look at that. Going very wide.
P1. Oh, he's backed out.
McLaren has managed to get it. There was a bit of jostling there for position. Going to turn 2. Alfa Romeo goes very wide. It's Bluey there. They're all pretty well behaved. Can't see any carbon fibre going flying. Jostling for position though around P15.
We got Blue in bait mate on side by side through the mini stage.
Oh, a bit of Constantino. Looks like Red Bull's got some wing damage there. It looked like it was Decelerate there running into the back of someone who had been checked up into turn 5.
It was Ollie's got damage to his right arm.
Psycho and Bully's Ferrari there banging wheels. The exit of turn 7.
Ollie's got damage to his car and he can barely navigate the S's.
Yeah, you got Vassar as well going very slow through the twisted section. Bully really struggling. Boy, hitting back of him. Yeah, you can see Ali there dropping right down the order. Bully tries to run the outside as they enter the stadium section. I think he's got the move done. And those soft tyres really going to be working pretty hard these opening few laps, so he clears that traffic. Oh, and Ali's just checked up Psycho as well. Psycho breaking his front wing. And unfortunately, I think they're both going to come into the pits now. Just going to jump a bit further up as Mika is under attack by Quantum, who's just passed him on the straight. We don't have DRS yet. It won't be till the end of this lap if it's enabled. A little bit further back, we've got Andercat making a move on Saxa into turn 1. So Addy has, actually, I'm not sure what's happening there. We've got McLaren out in front. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Wingman ghosted, but we're just waiting for the order to correct itself. So
Wingman first, Addy's fighting for the win at the moment.
So we've got Ali, Psycho, and Nut all pitting there. Nut going onto the hard tyre. And Batemate already has a 3-second penalty on lap 2.
It's extremely harsh, these track limits, so not fair. You go slightly wide and you get a warning straight away.
Just waiting for the last couple of positions to correct themselves and we should be good. There we go. There we go, I think we're good. So yeah, Wingman leads from Addy, who leads from Hero. We'll see
and we already got a gap.
Yeah, over a second now. So DRS will be enabled, I think, on the next straight. There we go, we've got the signal there from race control.
There will be no DRS on this lap at all. The detection point is all the way in sector 3 for both of the DRSs. It's, God, watch it. I'm trying to think of a track that has the same thing, but I can't think of it.
Similar to Canada, I think on the pit straight, the detection point is actually before the hairpin. So,
yeah. And then you got the DRS for...
So we'll probably see DRS on sector 2. I think there's the detection zone there through the twisted section, so Addy should pick that up on the next little run.
So just about now, Addy will pick up that detection, gets DRS, and will be able to stay within that second for the main straight. Unless Wingman able to gain 2/10 somehow in the next few corners.
Back to Lights, who's already up to P13 after starting last to that quali ban. He's closing in on the back of Decelerate from the sister team.
Now, I know one thing about this track is that EOS management is extremely hard around here. Absolutely. You don't get any because of all the high speed corners as Addy takes the 3-second for, I think, turn 3 exit.
Lights there making the move on Decelerate into turn 1 as well, so he's got that move done and dusted. Bandcamp, oh, a bit of collision there between the Ferrari of Bully and Bandcamp there at turn 2.
It's actually spun him as well.
Yeah, Yeah, but I jumped on board right at the last minute there. It looked like Bandcamp was well in front, so I'm not sure if the Ferraris just stuck the nose in too late. Or if he was up further, but yeah, Bully there, dropping back down to 17th. Those soft tyres are going to be a little bit unhappy with that. Jump a bit further up, Batemate making a move on Addy into the stadium section here.
As Wingman just brings that gap out at 1.1, so Hero won't have that DRS. He might get... I don't know if Bake got DRS on...
Yeah, I just wonder if something's up with Addy's car. He's dropped off, he was P2, and he's lost 2 positions now in the space of just 1 lap, so... he picked up a penalty on that lap for exceeding track limits, so I wonder if he's lost a lot of time from that as well. He's trying to come back at Batemate there into turn 1. He's going around the outside, but Batemate's done well enough to cover the racing line.
All the guys around him have a lot more ERS to play with than Addy. Addy's only seen on 20%.
Lights has just overtaken Saxa, but Saxa's hit the back of the AlphaTauri and broken his front wing, so the Ferrari driver's missing his right end plate now, as we see the Red Bull of Decelerate nearly losing it on throttle at the exit of turn 3. Lights is charging through the field, but yeah, interesting to see a perspective from Saxa after the race. I'm not sure if there was left enough room there.
Currently, I would say Lights, after everyone hits, Lights would be leading this race after all soft runners go in, which will probably be soon. What's the pit for Sauce? Is it like lap 7, lap 8?
We saw most of the drivers in Tier 1 pitting on lap 8 when they were going for a 2-stop strategy. We did see the 1-stop pitting around about lap 11, so... I think the earliest pitter was Geordie in Tier 1, pitting around about lap 7, lap 6. So we'll see if anyone tries to trigger a bit of an undercut. The undercut is very powerful here. We saw Geordie set the fastest lap of the race on his first lap on the mediums.
Extra grip from those medium tyres when you get out, and plus they don't really hit through the S's, which helps with the grip and secondly.
Both Ferrari drivers pitting at the same time, so Saxa getting that front wing replaced. Bully as well coming in to get his front wing replaced as well, I think.
He's gone for hards.
Oh, he's got wing damage as well. He's going at hards. I think he must have picked up a bit of damage in the back of Bandcamp. We've got Nut, I think, has gone around and into the wall in the stadium section. I don't know if he's damaged his wing. It looks intact from the offboard shot, but yeah, unfortunately those hards do not have a lot of grip.
Yep. His wing is all good, but he's deciding to come off him.
Unless he's got some lime green damage that might pick that up, hitting the wall. But a fair train.
He just wants to get off him.
Yeah, I understand that. He's going to get lapped now, though. His wingman comes around the final corner now. Oh, he's had a big moment, though. Lost the rear coming around the final corner, and now that Blue is going to make a move on Addy. And there we go. He's made the move done well before the braking zone of the corner.
Addy's just gone backwards. Oh, he moves very late against Combat, though.
Yeah, saw of that. But Combat's got the inside line now. Oh, a bit of contact. Renault having to turn left to the right-hand corner to catch the rear. That's the point, going over to the racing line. Defending the Renault. Quantum effect going very deep and hits the racing point. Uses the racing point as a brake. The Renault has to take to the grass to try and get past the McLaren there. The Wingman's actually left the session, so our race leader has disconnected. Hopefully they'll come back shortly. Hero's inherited the lead there. And Addy's been able to hold off Quantum Effect, who tries to stick the nose down the inside. As we saw in the preamble, it's not a great place to overtake. It's very high risk for the car on the inside. Wingman dropping further down through the field. Batemate gets the position. Bluey closing up as well. Hopefully he can get back into the session very quickly. Got a nice little train here forming for P6. Wingman has rejoined, so it's good to see.
I don't know about Addy's late moves at defending.
He's actually peeled off. Addy's in the pits now, so he's triggering an undercut here.
His late defending was
as a new driver to Tier 2, might not be that used to driving competitively against people similar pace, but let's see how his undercut goes. His strategy might be on point here. See if he's able to gain some positions through that strategy. Quantum Effect here under a lot of pressure from Mika to defend P6 as I've lost all of the intervals. They should come back at the end of the next sector.
Nope, it'll be end of the lap. So,
wonderful, thank you, Codemasters. So
they broke it even more.
Very close battle here. Got to keep an eye on Wingman and Bluey now. Now that Wingman's back in the session. It's very close behind the Alfa Romeo. Got a yellow flag. Looks like the Alfa Romeo of Andercat has gone around there. Oh, he's lost a fair chunk of his wing as well. His left end plate at turn 7. Following the car in front, so I didn't quite see what happened there, but he's got a lot of damage. Now Bandcamp all over the back of him. Hopefully he's able to get through without much of a drama. His lights has picked up a 3-second penalty, so that's going to hurt him a little bit.
This is hurting Band with
Absolutely. He's got Keeper coming up behind him as well. The Alfa Romeo is actually going defensive on the inside. You've got wing damage, mate. Just stay out of the way. Bandcamp goes around the outside and gets through, but Keeper able to get through as well pretty comfortably by the looks of it. The Alfa Romeo going very deep into the hairpin. And if we wanted to get into the pits to get that wing fixed.
Ando doing very well to let people buy for a corner though.
Wingman's been able to get past Bluey and Mika.
Addy another 3 seconds.
Yeah, Addy pushing a bit too hard, I think. Come out on the medium tyre. Down in P14. Notice everyone else in the top 10 staying out there as well, so I wonder if he's triggered that undercut a little bit too early. Is Mr. Spicer now starting to go down the inside of Quantum Effect, but it backs out at the last second.
So as we at his first lap on those mediums, we'll see what lap time he can do. Wingman did get past Bluey, I don't know when.
Yeah, Addy's come out in a bit of clean air, so about 4 seconds to Vassar in front of him, so he should be able to push pretty hard without too much problem. A little train forming as well for P11 here. We've got Bandcamp defending from Keeper. Vassar just behind as well. Quite in DRS range yet. Just going to jump back up to Bluey and Wingman though, because Bluey right up the back of Wingman. No one else coming into the pits yet, so...
I don't know. I wonder if like all soft runners are trying to make that hard work. And no, Mika Quantum are both.
Yeah, Mika Quantum triggering another stop, so stayed out that extra lap on Addy. So it'll be interesting to see how much of time he's able to gain.
Addy's 2/10 up on his soft times. He was 3/10 quicker than his softs.
Yeah, it wasn't the fastest lap of the race though, so he doesn't quite have that speed that we saw earlier.
The fastest lap was done by fresh softs, I believe. I'm just going to check the fastest lap. If I can get it. So the fastest lap is actually a 17.5 by Sax on the softs. Addy did a 17.8 or a 17.9 on his mediums. So he's lapping quicker than the guys in front by about 5/10 of a lap.
Interestingly as well, Quantum Effects come out on the soft tyres, whereas Mika's opted for fresh mediums. So a bit of a difference in strategy there. Addy and Vassar going side by side into the stadium section, and the Renault driver comes out on top.
We got a bunch of mediums. We got Bateman, Hero, Bluey, Wingman, and Combat all in the pit lane. Mr. Spicer stayed out because his teammate was in pit lane.
And here we go. So jump on board with Addy here. See if he's able to jump anyone who's in front of him.
I think he's going to jump Bluey.
He's got past Bluey. Wingman not quite though. He's got a good run on him, but the McLaren does have DRS though, so he's
now all these guys are going to have to fight the medium starters though.
Got a yellow flag, got a Ferrari off at turn 11. Oh, no, it's a bit earlier than turn 11, big turn 9 or 10.
I think it's turn 9 that was Bully.
Yeah, on those hard tyres, struggling there at the moment. Oh, we've got a car around. I think that was... that was Addy. Addy came together with an Alfa Romeo of Bluey. Just caught that. And he's slowing right down, so I'm not sure if he's trying to redress the position or not.
I think he's redressing it.
Nope, just kept going.
No, Addy's got major damage to his left.
Oh, Quantum Effect picking up a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. It's unfortunate for him. And jumping up to Hero though, who's right on the back of Accelerate for P3. He's on those fresh medium tyres. Should be able to make light work of the Red Bull driver on the straight.
Mr. Spicer in the pit lane, that gives that Lights a lead of the race now.
Yeah, well done to him. So he was the front runner to start on the medium tyres. So he's done very well to get up to P1.
Addy back in the pit lane to get off those mirrors after gaining wing damage.
And a wingman making a move on Bandcamp there for P5. We've got Batemate as well on the defensive from the McLaren driver. The McLaren
wingman,
driver just, wow, so much speed.
Around and outside, turn 1.
Yeah, he's got the move done. I think he's going to have... No, he's got DRS as well, so he won't have to defend too hard from Batemate there.
Don't usually see someone go outside and keep it through that section.
So we'd expect the medium tire to last about 16 laps, so expect these guys to stay out for a little bit longer, a little bit out of position, and then it'll be interesting to see whether they go for another set of mediums or if they try to go 2 sets of softs to the end.
So Addy, who got wing damage, he pivoted, he's put on hard tyres now. Let's put him to third last. Couple ways to not, about 30 seconds. Now wingman all over the back of the Red Bull down the main straight.
Quantum Effect has not been managing his ERS at all. He's on 1% and he's only just got to the F1 2020 sign halfway down the straight. So he needs to do a bit of work there on his management. I'm seeing Mika get past Vassar now.
That was an interesting move by wingman at the end of the straight. He went around the outside when the Accelerate was covering the inside on that racing line. Wingman forcing himself into the racing line.
Penalties for the moment. His Lights picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. It's a real shame, but it's a sort of unforced error, that one. So we got Batemate with 6 seconds of penalty, Lights with 8, Quantum with 8, Mr. Spicer and Bluey with 3. Just going to jump a little further down because I think they're battling. 6 seconds for Addy and 3 seconds for Bully, but I do believe that Bully has left the session.
Yes.
Keeper and Combat Rat. Then to turn 1, Combat Rat holding 7th position at the moment.
Keeper still on those old medium tyres from the start of the race. Band about to be almost going to be under attack from Quantum, who's on the soft tyres.
Ali having a go at Saxer now on the run into turn 4. Unfortunately, the Red Bull driver suffering a bit of wing damage in the opening lap and he's fairly out of position. I'm sure he'd be much happier up the grid. Couldn't quite get alongside the Ferrari there into turn 4, so he's going to have to wait a little bit longer to get the move done. We got the Batemate though, who's right on the back of Wingman. Should be able to make the move into turn 1 with this help of DRS. But Hero, 4.5 seconds out in front.
I would say Batemate has a lot more ERS than Wingman at the moment. Batemate had about 70% ERS at the start of the straight, used about 40% to get in front.
Yeah, gets the move done pretty comfortably. Just going to jump down, there's a little bit of a train. Trying to see where it is.
P13?
I think, yeah, Saxo, there we go. Saxa, Ali, and a cat. So we've got Keeper and Bandcamp in the pits now, chucking on their soft tyres. It was a Red Bull. Ali having a big dive into turn 1, gets the move done, moves up to P11.
Bluey and Mr. Spice going back at him. Mr. Spice been on those fresh soft tires. I swear he was on the mediums before.
Saxon now coming under pressure from Andercat as well. It's been on those softs for a while, Saxa, so if you're due to pit within the next couple of laps, now for Romeo, reasonably new medium tyres. Mate sets the fastest lap of the race with the 117.4 on those medium tyres, so now he's got some clean air. He's going to start hunting down Hero. Gap's down to 4 seconds already, so just keep an eye on that battle for the lead. It's Lights, 117.0 on the soft tyre. He's down in P9, but he has a penalty. I'm not sure if he's got 11 seconds now. Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is Mexico.
Red Bull there of Ali coming into the pits, 13 lap old mediums there. Mr. Spicer now attacking on Mika into turn 4. Got the inside line. Gets the move done. I see Bluey there. Oh, he's not quite. There we go. He's got it done there. And Bluey as well, close behind. Looking to get the move done in that 2 corners. And now we've got a little battle pack for 11th, Saxa and Keeper. Keeper has got a good run out of turn 3. Got the racing line, the Ferrari on the inside though, but those older tyres not quite able to brake as late as the Mercedes. And Andercat close behind. I'm going to size him up in a moment. And here we go, Bluey making a move on Mika. Can't quite get up alongside enough, and Lights trying to make the most of it. Goes down the inside of the hairpin on the Alfa Romeo. Got the outside of the Alfa Romeo now as well, but those soft tyres giving him all the grip he needs, and those mediums for Bluey not quite able to keep him in the battle. And now Lights having a great run on Mika's Haas now. And down into turn 1. Now the Tauri driver on the charge now, up into P7. He'll have to pit again a bit later in the race, but he's showing a lot of pace, but he does have those penalties looming over him, so he's going to have to be careful. We'll jump a little bit further back. We've got a nice battle for P12 now. Andercat and Bandcamp both with DRS on the Ferrari. Oh, the Alfa Romeo having to take to the grass. The Ferrari there
taking both.
Ferrari holding its line there, but I think the Alfa Romeo expected the Ferrari to move over for him, but he had nowhere else to go but take to the off-road scenic route. And Bandcamp said, thank you very much. I'll take 2 positions with that much fuss. So moves up into P12 and outside of DRS, most importantly.
Goes purple sector 1 as well on his first lap.
Louis having another look at Mika as they enter the stadium section. Not quite able to get the job done.
White's also looking at Mrs. Spicer now.
Yeah, White's looking very, very racy at the moment.
White's is holding 11 seconds.
Doesn't have a lot of ERS though, so he's been a bit greedy using his overtake button, I think.
Neither does Mrs. Spicer. He's got none.
Can't see inside, but White got enough. He's going to jump back to Bluey. He's made the move to stick on Mika this time, but he's been managing his ERS a lot better. Bandcamp with the fastest lap of the race for the 116.7. He's called out a bit earlier that he went purple in the first sector, and he's gone purple over the whole lap. Lights trying around the outside. I don't think he's going to stick. He's gone off track. I think you're going to get a yellow, a bit of a warning there from race control for trying to overtake someone off track. He's on the inside now, heading into turn 8. Careful here, we've seen incidents happen before. And he gets the overtake done on Mr. Spicer, but did he get a lasting advantage there from going off track between turns 5 and 6?
Going around the outside of 5 and 6, that is a bold move. You don't usually see anyone try it there. They usually wait until DRS in the second sector or first sector. But Hero out front, he's actually extended that gap. It's now 5.3. Yeah, it was 4 seconds a few laps ago.
Bandcamp overtaking Keeper for P11 just before the stadium section. So doing very well is the Renault driver. Saxa comes to the pits and Lights gets another penalty.
That's 14 seconds right there.
Oh, it's the Alfa Romeo with Bluey nearly losing the rear. Turn 7. Just lit up the rear tyres.
Technically, Lights has 9 seconds, one of them's 5, saying he'll serve that on his next stop.
So just past the halfway mark, we're seeing the Ferrari of, I think it's Bully coming into the pits there. We've got a yellow flag as I think that's Addy and Ali having a bit of a coming together there. Looks like the runner going very slowly in sector 2. He's barely using any throttle at all there. Not sure what's happening with him. Can't see any damage on the front.
Not sure what he was doing either, to be honest.
Staying off the racing line. I can't see any damage on the front. Just going very, very slow through sector 2 and sector 3.
And look, I think he left.
Did he?
Or he's in AI mode.
Picked it up again, so I'm not sure what was happening there.
It looks like he's in AI mode looking at his telemetry.
Yeah, weird. Okay, anyway, as we keep going. Jumping up to Bluey. That was just very bizarre. Bluey
That was
up
awkward.
in P8. See, it's the Mercedes of Nut coming into pit down in 19th place at the moment, so sticking it out there. We do see Quantum Effect coming into pit now for his final stop. On the sauce for 10 laps, so 15 laps. He's going to have to go mediums, I think, to the end. So I think that's a soft medium strategy. Yep. As Bluey makes a move on Mr. Spicer into turn 1.
He's going to end up behind Keeper.
Bandcamp moves up into P10 now after that pit stop from Quantum Effects.
We might see the top 4 all pit on the soft side then.
Yes, yeah, I'd expect them to come in about 5 laps time, so around about lap 26 thereabouts. Yeah, there we go. Addy has left the session. Faso on the back of Andercat now on the run into turn 4. Can't quite get alongside. Make a pass. Light's getting another penalty. How many is he up to now? 20 seconds worth. Baitmate's on 12. Baitmate's currently second, but that's a lot of penalties. Mr. Spicer has come into the pits now. And he'll be on the medium tyres as well to the end, I believe.
20 seconds. One of them's a 5 seconds, which will be so he's on 15. Oh, this is going to put him down at 11th, I think, or 12th. So he'll be out of the points, I think.
Yeah, he's checking on the fresh medium, so at least he will have a bit of pace to try and follow Quantum Effect through to get back into the points. But yeah, those penalties are going to hurt him later on as well.
Wait, what are we talking?
Mr. Spicer?
No, I was talking about Lights. He's going to be like
Oh,
P10,
right, yes.
11.
Yeah, he's got a lot of penalties to deal with.
Mr. Spicer's fine. He's got 3 seconds. Only problem is that there's a safety car.
Oh, Vassar letting Psycho through there. Not sure what happened there, if he lost the rear and had to correct it, but it looked like he just pulled over to the right-hand side of the road and let the racing point through after turn 7. He's now got Ali holding his heels. Ali tries to go on the inside into the stadium section. Had to back out at the last minute, locking his front tyres. AlphaTauri not giving the sister car much room at all. Time with the assistance of DRS on the inside, going into turn 1, gets done pretty comfortably. Both drivers there, the ERS lights flashing, indicate they're below 20% ERS. 15%, there you go. He gets moved up pretty comfortably and now has nearly 1 second gap. Going to jump a bit further up to Psycho's closing in on Andercat there for P13. I've been on those medium tyres for a little while, but closing the gap down.
I just looked at the chat.
Yeah, let's not even going to touch that.
Jaden's life matters.
So the racing point of Psycho goes around the outside of Andercat. And moves up into P13.
Bluey on the back of Lights. Lights defending that position hard on those tyres.
Yeah, those softs are going to be a little bit worse for wear at the moment. The Alfa Romeo going on the inside of turn 5. Lights does favour the outside line there, and again, he's come out on top by using it. So he stays in P5. He's going to have to come into the pits in the next couple of laps though, but then so will Bluey, so it'll be interesting to see these two battling towards the end. Going to jump back a bit further, Ali and Psycho going side by side through turn 3 as well. The Racing Point losing DRS though, now he's very vulnerable to Andercat coming back at him. The Racing Point doing very well, trying to hang it around the outside of turn 4, which becomes the inside for turn 5. Has to take a lot of the curb though, and that's going to give Ali a bit of a reprieve, and Andercat as well. Very close to this battle. We'll jump a bit further back up. Wingman is coming to the pits now onto the soft tyre, so he's the first one of the leaders to take their final stop. And Lights now. We've got a yellow flag, got an AlphaTauri off at turn 10, I think that is. That's Vassar.
Wingman re-enter just ahead of his teammate, just behind Bandcamp, who needs to stop again on those tyres.
Light still hanging on to P5, just behind Bluey.
Sorry, I lost the rest, so those stuff are gone.
Yeah, so we've got Vassar and it's Bluey coming into the pits now. Quick look, Wingman right on the back of Bandcamp now. So much quicker than the Renault driver. Oh, Bandcamp missing the turn-in massively there, and the McLaren just drives straight on through. Bandcamp making a little bit of an error there.
Vassar in the pit lane, same with Hero and Bait, mate.
Here we go, so our race leader's coming in. It's the pits, and Hero loses the lead to Combat Rat, who stays out on the medium tyre, and he'll be in next lap, I imagine. And Hero and Bluey going out side by side, but the Alfa Romeo a bit more straight line speed on the run into turn 1. We've got 10 laps left in the race.
Mika Lights also into pit lane.
And that's Bandcamp as well of Renault coming in. Battle here for P2 between Hero and Bluey. Bluey still has to pit again for another set of softs. Mika up to P9 now.
This just makes more of a lead from Hero if he can get past Combat. I believe he'll actually get past him here.
Yeah, possibly. The Racing Point keeps to the racing line, and the Haas just breezes past on the inside.
Cuts a bit of a corner when we started to go warning. A little bit further back, Lights closing in on the back of Psycho.
So come into sector 2. So weave through that very fast and flowing section. Look how much quicker Lights is compared to the racing point. He actually had to get on the brakes then, I think, to stop running into the back of Psycho. Is he going to go down the inside? He is. And moves up into P11.
116.1, the fastest lap. So we've got to keep it in the pit lane and Ali in the pit lane. So sauce for both of them.
Still waiting for Combat to pit. I wonder if he may actually be going to the end on those mediums.
It would be a good call. He's in a good position at the moment, but the guys behind him are on new tyres and they're catching quick.
Yeah, he's got 9 laps to go. They're going to be pretty dead by the end of the stint if he isn't coming into the softs, but he's leaving a bit too late. The softs really do optimally want to last about 10 laps, but we'll see how he goes.
Fastest.
16.1, so he's quite a bit faster than everyone else on the track at the moment.
That's not much faster than Wingman's time. Wingman did a 116.116.
Well, there we go. Combat has just pit, so he's going to go 8 laps to the end on those softs.
Where he exits now. That's Quantum, the Spice, and Bluey passing. Enter just behind them. Skipper picks up a penalty for track limits.
The field's starting to spread a little bit now. I think Bluey is the only car within DRS range of someone else. So Sax is close to Ali as well, but Ali on fresh soft, so I don't think that's going to be for much longer.
This spot's got like no EOS to defend this. We got Addy's AI pitting. If not. There goes Bluey. Side by side down the main straight, gets him done nice and easy by using his overtake and DRS. Now he will look to...
It's very deep at the exit of turn 3 though.
Trying to look at Quantum now. All 3 of them are holding penalties. Wingman are only one in the top 6 without a penalty to his name. As Bluey actually goes fastest sector 1.
So I'll have a quick look at the winners and losers so far for the race. Is Bluey and Quantum going side by side briefly there. Bluey gaining the position. Moves up to P4. So Heroes moved up 2 positions so far this race. 8 made up 5, but Wingman down 2, Bluey down 2 as well. Quantum Effect up 5, Mr. Spicer up 3, Combat down 1, Mickey down 3, Lights up 11 positions, but he does have about 15 seconds worth of penalties, so expect him to go back down the order. Zellerate up 4, Bandcamp up 1. Keeper up 6, but Ali down 2. Psycho up 2. But Andicat down 7. Saxa down 3. Vassa down 2. Addy down 14. Nut down 2. And Bully down 1. So a little battle brewing here for P4. We've got Quantum just behind, and Mr. Spice has caught onto this little battle pack as well.
What I find interesting is that Bully's AI didn't change his wing.
We've got AlphaTauri just had a little off at turn 11. I'm not sure which one that was.
That's
So yeah, it looks like Lights is around at turn 7 at the moment.
so Bluey able to make that second gap. Same with Quantum on Mr. Spicer. So no one's getting DRS in this pack. So unfortunate for us.
So we'll jump back to Bandcamp, who's closed the gap in on Decelerate now, just 3/10.
Got AI Nut Ghosted fighting with him as well. Nut doesn't have a care in the world. He'll get in the way.
Strauss is trying to overtake Decelerate as well with the DRS, so trying to make up some ground. I think he's actually trying to get past. He's actually racing Addy for position there in the AI, and there he goes. He just moved up to P18. Now Bandcamp right on the back of Decelerate now. Should have got DRS. We've got another yellow flag and another Alpha Tauri through turn 9 that time.
Vasa seems to struggle at that corner for some reason.
That's getting another penalty.
Let's have a look how many that was now. 18 seconds. I wonder if he'll get DSQ'd by the time this race finishes.
That's yeah. I think it's about 30 seconds or thereabouts. But, if you accumulate that number of penalties, then the game disqualifies you.
Batemate has 12 seconds of pens. And then 4, 5, 6 all have 6 seconds, so combat.
But Batemate may only lose one position from that. He's 13 seconds clear of Bluey in P4, so he may even lose the spot to Wingman as Bandcamp gets past Decelerate quite easily on the pit straight and run into turn 1.
Bluey, Quantum, Spicer all have 6 seconds, so combat's actually going to gain P4 at 9. Unless Mika can also get within the combat that.
Well, Combat's managed to close the gap pretty well, so you may be able to get a couple of positions here on merit.
He is on the soft tire as well.
Lights gets another one.
I think he's pushing too hard.
Yeah, just a bit. Need to practice a bit more, I think, to avoid getting all these penalties. Thank you very much for the follow, 24-hour Starbucks. We haven't followed him much so far this race, but Hero is 11 seconds clear of Batemate out in front, so very commanding race from him so far. Just going to jump back to Lights, who's making a little bit of a move on Mika here for P8. Not quite get close enough this time.
Why the move is going to mean anything.
Wow, Trent, I did not know that Ali is in fact your brother, so you learn something new every day.
Ali's everyone's brother at this point.
Yeah, I think at this point Lights is just not caring at all with the track extensions. He's running pretty deep and wide at nearly every corner I see him go through.
Let's test that theory, shall we?
He should be able to get the move done here. I'm just going to jump a little further up as Combat Rat makes a move for P6 on Mr. Spicer.
No, he doesn't care.
And Combat gets the position. Jumping back to Lights, who's going around the outside. Oh, did I just miss something a bit further up the field? We've got an Alpha Tower going very slow.
Vasa, I think letting people...
Ah, okay. That's alright then. Thought I'd missed an incident, but Lights, they're getting past Mika there for P8.
You just missed what Lights did to get past.
Did he take the grass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went valley crossing. Mika defending that inside line. Lights had none of it, just takes the grass. Penalties for Lights, 21 seconds.
So Mr. Splice has dropped out of DRS range of Combat Rat now, who's closing in on Quantum Effect for P5. And this little charge from Combat Rat might actually gain him a number of positions. Lights, yeah, pitting. That's interesting. This late in the race, he must have been worried about getting a puncture or something on the final lap. And he's dropped outside the top 10, but I think the penalties are going to do that anyway.
I think he wants fast to be fair. I think he's going to try. But Combat Rat all over the back of Quantum. And they're both on a similar ERS level.
This Hero crosses the line to start the final lap of the race.
On laps, Bully's AI for the 6th time. I'm interested. They still haven't fixed his wing. It's been 20 laps.
Combat Rat getting DRS on Quantum Effect. Should be a pretty easy move. Ooh, as the McLaren moves to defend the middle, as we got a Mercedes round at the final corner. I imagine that's probably not.
Yep.
It is not. Yep. And Combat Rat moves up to P5 now. And that's
who would have guessed it was not.
The closest battle we've got on track at the moment. Mr. Splice is just hanging on to Quantum Effect's DRS, but everyone else well outside range of each other. So I wonder how is Combat going to go with penalties. He needs to find another second on Bluey to move up to P4.
I think Bluey's just
there we go. Hero crosses the line, and that's the win for him. And Baitmate will be next to cross the line, coming around the final corner now, but he's got 12 seconds worth of penalties. We'll put him a fair way down the order. He may actually drop to P4. Oh no, just down to P3 because Bluey's got penalties. Wingman gets promoted to P2. Bluey will be next across the line. He does have 6 seconds of penalties, and I think Combat may have made a little mistake because he's gone out to 7.1 seconds.
I think
Psycho has been disqualified again for not using the correct compounds. He's been disqualified for this before, so there's something very weird going on with his computer because he definitely used the correct strategy.
And Lights gets another penalty.
Mika P8. Bandcamp comes across the line, stays P9. Not quite close enough to gain any positions there. Decelerate P10. Keeper will be next across the line, P11. Respectable finishing position. Only 3 seconds of penalties.
And that's Lights.
Lights will come across the line.
24 seconds.
With 24 seconds of penalty, and I don't think he got fastest lap either.
I don't think he did. His tires, I looked at his wheel.
He got driver of the day though, because he did start last, so well done to him. But yeah, unfortunately, you got to drive a bit cleaner than that if you want to come home with some points. And there we go.
Look at his wheel in his car. He was like 120 degrees on his front left.
Well, congratulations to Hero for getting the win. And well done to, I believe it was Wingman and the McLaren getting P2. And Baitmate rounding out the podium for Williams in P3. I'm disappointed they don't have Gunter there getting the Constructors Trophy there. That would be a good laugh, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got Hero, Wingman, and Baitmate rounding out the top 3. We've got Bluey, Combat, Quantum, Mr. Splicer, Mika, Bandcamp, and Decelerate rounding out the top 10. We've got Keeper, Lee, Lights, Andicat, Saxa, Vasa, Nut, Addy, Bully, and Psycho getting disqualified. I'm just going to have a quick look at Psycho's race director because I'm positive.
He did switch tires.
Yeah, Psycho went medium to soft. Hang on, I'm just going to go this way. It's going to be a bit easier. Medium to soft to medium to soft. Sorry. I don't know why the game thinks that he didn't do the right number of stops, but I'm sure we'll get that sorted after the race. Yes, and the fastest lap of the race went to Nut with a 1:16.078.
Wait. Look, wait. I don't know if this shows you this, but look at Bully's tires.
He had a number of out of sequence stops, I believe. Yeah, medium. That actually happened to me last season with, I think, Matt Soyd left the race early, and every lap for the rest of the race, he came into the pits. His AI came into the pits for him. It was quite annoying having that pop up on the screen every single lap. 18
pit stops.
Wonderful. Very inefficient use of rubber there.
His teammate will love that one.
Alrighty, thank you everyone so much for joining us for Tier 1 and Tier 2 tonight. Hope you had a great time watching. Thank you very much to Apollo Pepsi for joining me for the commentary for Tier 2. Thank you to Bandcamp for joining me a bit earlier for Tier 1. So we'll be back on Thursday night. We'll be doing some iRacing for the GT3 Championship, so make sure you join us for that. And if anyone wants to sign up to that, just hit us up on Discord or on iRacing itself. Friday night we'll be back. I think we're doing a special event. I think a new season is starting up, I believe, with classic cars, most likely. So be interested to see those
more information
again. Yeah, so keep posted with Discord, and Pepsi will be running commentary for that hopefully. And then we'll be back next Sunday with our next Tier 1 and Tier 2 race, same time. Let's just have a look at what it's going to be. It will be Monaco, of course it will.
One track I needed to miss.
The week before the real deal as well. So join us for that. Always a challenge for the drivers, but it's a good fun one to do as well. So I hope you can join us for that one. Anyway, thank you so much. I've been Gus Rules. I hope you enjoy your evening, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.